WNKX welcomes you to this live presentation of local high school sports, made possible by our community advertising partners.
Welcome to WNKX Live, your home for Hickman County sports. I'm Josh Copley alongside my broadcast colleague, as always, Cameron Peters, and we are live here tonight at the gymnasium of the Waverly Central High School Tigers as your Hickman County Lady Bulldogs are on the road here tonight as they look to cap off their second win in a row. Cam, it was a big night last night for the Lady Dogs. Of course, they improved their record from 9-6 to 10-6, and Cam, that was a big win for them last night because they were coming off of that Christmas tournament. They dropped a couple of games, but I think last night, we're starting to see these Lady Dogs get back on track.
Yeah, Josh, there was an assertiveness and aggressiveness that they played with last night that, hadn't been necessarily present in every single game, but they really came alive last night, and I loved watching that game last night. It was full effort the whole time. They came out in a full-court man-to-man trap, and it worked really well. They got in a little foul trouble early and had to get out of it, but all around, great night.
And Cam, I think a big thing, and this goes for a lot of sports, is utilizing your strengths, right? And Coach Gordon spoke to that yesterday when we interviewed him, right? We talked about in the broadcast that we knew Hickman County had the numbers over Santa Fe, right? And what did he do? He came out early to try to wear down that Wildcat team, and he did just that. I mean, Hickman County could not have dreamt for a better start last night. I mean, Ava Floyd, the leader of this team, puts up 16 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, Josh, she went off last night and was completely unguardable in that first quarter, and had 31 in total on the whole night. So she was really finding the bucket, but it wasn't just her. It was a plethora of players that came through. There were 7 players that scored last night, Josh, 7 out of the 8 that played. So very good night for all the Lady Dogs.
And Cam, I think someone who we can't ignore is Delaney King, right? Her presence was missed in the final week before Christmas break, so she's back here. As far as I know, she played in the Christmas tournament, but of course we weren't there for that. But she comes out last night, really asserts herself underneath, drops 10 points, of course, double-digit, great night for her. And it's so fun watching her and Zoe Chilton work as this great tandem underneath. And really, when they're on their game, they're very hard to stop.
Yeah, Josh, last night they both showed up very well on the boards. And that's been something that I think has been a trend in not just their wins, but in the games where they play really well. Those two are always showing up and being present on the boards, making a huge impact as always. So I expect them to continue this tonight. These Waverly girls they're not a huge team, and so I would love to see them continue that and maybe even be more prominent.
Well, Cam, and something I think we need to point out as well is it's been no secret for these Lady Dogs that they can sometimes come out in the second half and start a little slow, right? They've had some third quarter troubles all season long, and yesterday it was a little bit different. We saw their lull take place in the second quarter, right? They weren't playing the game they wanted to play, especially after that amazing first quarter. They went into the half, they were only up by 6. It was 30-24, and the game ended 61-45. So hopefully this shows us that they're finally over those third quarter blues and that they're ready to start playing 4 quarters of complete basketball and ready to dominate the second half especially.
Yeah, Josh, the later you go in the season, the more important that is. Earlier in the year you can blame it. You can blame that on, a lack of feel for the game, a lack of chemistry. But at this point in the year, you should be in full stride, ready to go. And I expect these ladies to come out and to continue to find their footing. Now, in that second quarter, they slowed down because they were not in transition. We talked to Coach Gordon about that, and he said that that's really a goal for them from now on, is to be in transition and to push the basketball. And I expect that to continue because they looked so good doing that last night, and that second quarter lull was due to the lack of that. And but I wouldn't be surprised if they come back out in some sort of press to cause a few turnovers to get them back hot again.
And you mentioned turnovers there, Cam, and Of course, we love looking at the stat sheet. A lot of people, when they watch basketball, they love seeing points. They love keeping their eyes on the big scorers. But we got to talk to Chloe Warren yesterday during the half of the boys' game, and we got to talk to her about the role she's had to play on this team, of course, being the one responsible for guarding the opposing team's #1 ball handler. And Cam, I don't think there's anyone in Middle Tennessee that plays better defense than Chloe Warren.
Yeah, Josh, her and, her name's slipping my mind, Haley Gordon, I apologize. Her and Haley Gordon always end up with the toughest assignments on the floor. And I think it's because on the defensive end, they bring an aggressiveness and a confidence that not a lot of young girls have. The confidence is a huge thing there because when they see an opponent, they take the challenge on. Both of them defensively take any challenge that they are given. But in particular, when we're talking about Chloe Warren, she is most effective when her defense is leading to her offense or just leading to the offense. She is so good at being disciplined and getting in and stripping the girls of their dribble, and whereas Haley Gordon is more about getting in the passing lane. So both of them super effective at getting steals and super effective at playing defense.
Now, Cam, on the topic of defense, we know yesterday, while Hickman County did come out with a W, we shouldn't ignore the flaws that we saw in it, right? Early on in the game, a lot of girls were racking up a lot of fouls. Of course, you can attribute that to fatigue. You can attribute that to playing aggressive. But Cam, tonight, what does Hickman County need to do if they want to keep these fouls in check, but also still play good defense at the same time?
Playing defense with your feet, Josh. All night last night against Santa Fe, on both sides, the refs were calling a lot of fouls, right? Well, that is due to us playing defense a lot with our hands. Hand checking the opponent, putting our hand on their hip, putting our hand on their torso, trying to control where they go. That's a great idea if it's the 90s. And the last time I checked, it's not the 90s anymore, Josh. So we have to play defense with our feet. Beat the player to the spot they're going to, not stay with them. So I think that's a big thing tonight, is playing defense with your feet and your hands up.
And Cam, speaking of fouls, what fouls do, it forces you to go to your bench a lot of the time. And I think we saw that last night. And we usually think of that as being a negative, but for some of the players that are able to get playing time as a result of the fouls, I think they may see that as a bit of a positive. Someone that we saw a good amount of last night was number 10, the freshman Tinley Davis. Now, Cam, Tinley didn't have any buckets last night, no points in the score column, but that does not erase the productivity she had on the defensive end. She was playing a tremendous supporting role out there in the minutes that she had.
Josh, the thing that I'm so impressed with is Carly Everett and Tinley Davis. They are in the right place that they need to be always. They are freshmen. That doesn't happen very often for freshmen, but they're very aware, very knowledgeable about what they're doing and what their goal is when they are out there. And so that produces a trust from Coach Gordon that if I put these girls in, they're not going to miss a beat. And that's really awesome to see from these young ladies.
You know, Cam, we haven't had an opportunity to interview any of the freshmen yet during the halftime of our boys' games, but I think if we did, I think they would attribute a lot of their ability to the seniors, right? They would attribute their willingness to compete to the leaders they have to look up to, right? The three seniors, Delaney King, Chloe Warren, and Nola Bentley, and even the juniors as well, Haley Gordon, Zoe Chilton, just to name a couple. I mean, they have a great group of upperclassmen to look up to, right? And I think that goes a long way. You need good leaders if you want to have a good team, not just coaches, but it starts on the floor as well. So I've been really happy from those upperclassmen and their ability to lead this team.
Yeah, Josh, and that's going to continue to play a big factor late into this season because, you know, these girls haven't experienced a full-on high school season before. And having that experience
a few moments away. I'm Josh Copley, joined by
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing. Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? Good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection!
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious!
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each. Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology. Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to Waverly High School, ladies and gentlemen, here on WNKX. I'm Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters. And Cam, they start to introduce the starting lineups for these Lady Dogs. We see Delaney King, Ava Floyd, Nola Bentley are the first three they've introduced, followed behind by Chloe Warren. And then lastly, number 30, Zoe Chilton. So Cam, the same starting five we've seen this season. And you know, as the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, Josh, I'm excited to see this starting five tonight. They've been so good all year, and I think that's going to continue. You know, this is a very talented group that is meshing very well, so I think it's going to continue tonight.
And you said a big word there, Cam, meshing together. And I think talent takes you a long way, but if you can't play together, you're not going to win basketball games.
Yeah, Josh, and you know, it is so easy to play with people that you've had chemistry with, right? I think I could go out there right now and play with Isaiah Puckett, who I played with since I could literally dribble a basketball, and I think we'd be right on the same page. So there's a chemistry that you build over time that, you know, creates not just bonds right now, but forever. And these girls are finding it, and it's getting dangerous.
So, folks, we are now ready for tip-off. Delaney King will be the representative for the Bulldogs. Hope Damesworth for the Tigers. And it's tipped to Ava Floyd, and we are underway. Oh, and Damesworth rips it away from Floyd, and the jump ball is called. Waverly now takes over. So, Cam, looks like the young Lady Tigers playing aggressive here early.
Yeah, Josh, and that's expected. When they played at Hickman County, the Lady Tigers, it wasn't necessarily close in the first half, but they did play better in the second half, and they were very aggressive.
And Warren gets the takeaway there, dishes over to Bentley. Floyd now at the left wing. Looks for a pass, bounces underneath. It's King, kicks it out. Warren now over to Chilton. Floyd looks to drive in, takes it herself to the basket, misses the layup. And it's picked up by King. King gives back out to Ava. Throws back beyond the perimeter. Gives out to Bentley. The Lady Dogs will reset.
Waverly came out in a man-to-man defense right here, and it's not one that's pressuring the dribblers very much, and it's kind of throwing off the Hickman County girls because, you know, you expect them to play uptight on you when you shoot the ball as well as they do, but right now they're playing off a little bit, and it's creating not a lot of driving lanes right now.
So the ball goes out on Waverly. Hickman throws it in. King tries to go up, no good. Denied by the Tigers, and Waverly now pushes it up the floor. That's McLemurray driving it on. Warren kicks it out. And a three attempt, no good, off the back of the rim and bounces over the glass. I don't think we've seen that all season, Cam.
Yeah, Josh, and that's an indicator right there that those rims are tight. Now, what does a tight rim mean? It means that it's screwed on and it doesn't have a lot of leeway. That means when you're shooting the ball, it doesn't have a lot of give, so you're not going to get a lot of roll in. So that'll be something to watch tonight.
And Chilton from 3 knocks down the game's first basket. And Waverly wasting no time moving up the floor. And it's taken away by Hickman County. Zoe Chilton on the break, and it's tipped out of bounds along the baseline by Kennedy Taylor, and Hickman County will maintain possession.
Now, Josh, Hickman County hadn't been in a situation where they've been able to show off if they're playing a full court press or not, but they have come out in man-to-man, and they just doubled right there, caused that turnover.
And King goes up for the shot, no good, but she is fouled. And Cam, what I've noticed here early is the Lady Dogs, when they're inbounding from the baseline, they are going to Delaney King in the
Gosh, you know, especially in the start of a game, you want to get established inside early. As Delaney King misses the first, getting established inside early in the game creates shots from deep later in the game, and we know that that can be so valuable late in the games.
So King unable to make her free throws. 3-0 your score here early. Hickman County leads. Some tight D being played by the Dogs. That's Rhodes, dribbles and kicks to the corner. 3, no good. Rattles in and out, but rebounded by the Tigers. The putback, no good. And Chilton grabs the board and gives it back out to Floyd. Hickman County on the drive, and it's knocked away. Floyd was looking for Warren. He tries to go to the basket, no good. And the putback by Rhodes is good. So Waverly, with their first bucket of the game, forces Coach Gordon to take a timeout. And Coach Gordon doesn't seem too pleased right now.
No, Josh, he's fired up, and I think it's a lack of just being locked into the game, right? These girls have came out a little sloppy. They look decent on offense, but on defense right now, it's almost like they're unsure of what they need to do, and there's no box outs right now, Josh. It's a lot of just standing up straight and jumping when you get the opportunity. That's going to create a lot of second chance opportunities for Waverly.
So now following the timeout, Hickman County with the ball. 5:55 to go in the first quarter. Floyd now crossing the midcourt stripe. Gives over to the left wing, it's Warren. Warren dribbles in hard. Tough bounce pass to Floyd, mid-range, good.
And Josh, that's a great job right there. You see Chloe Warren creating a shot. She can do that so well if she takes those opportunities.
Hickman County, Cam, I think you called it earlier, playing this press early, trying to make the Tigers uncomfortable. That's McLemurray with the ball, met by Warren. Dribbles in, going to the basket by herself. It's no good, but the putback is good.
Josh, and again there, you see no box outs underneath, and Waverly with a second chance opportunity. We've got to put a body on somebody down low and limit them to one shot. They did that super well last night, but it's not showing up right now.
Warren tries to drive, gives to Bentley. Bentley to Chilton from 3, no good. Rattles in and out. So Cam, Chilton definitely appearing confident early.
And Josh, that's a good thing. You know, you love it when your players show up ready to play early. She's been aggressive, and you can't ask for anything better.
And a dangerous pass in the paint is taken away by the Lady Dogs. Floyd in a hurry. Nice step, and the layup is good.
And Josh, that's a great job right there, using her angles. You don't see a lot of young girls do that. Ava Floyd's great at it.
So Hickman County giving Waverly a tough time, trying to just get the ball past midcourt. So McLemurray now, the prime ball handler for the Tigers, setting things up. Wants to drive again, kicks out to the corner. That's Damesworth. Damesworth gives over to Rhodes. Rhodes up top, guarded by Chilton. Now tries to dribble in, kicks it back out. That's Taylor. Hit over to McLemurray, and she loses a handle on it, but is able to recover. It gives over to Cotham. Cotham to Damesworth.
Josh, if I'm Coach Gordon, I'm telling my girls, get up in them, make them dribble, because they are not a talented team ball handling wise.
And Bentley takes advantage and gets the steal. Great defense there by the Lady Dogs. And Ava Floyd up the floor gives Chilton at the right wing, back up to Floyd. Chilton tries to back down Damesworth, but kicks it back out to Floyd. Floyd drives mid-range jumper, fouled, no good, but she will go to the line.
And Josh, you know that Ava Floyd, when she gets that big, quick first step, she's looking to get to that rim, but she does a great job of taking, as she knocks down the first one, of taking what the defender gives her. So many times earlier in the year, she would try to continue to go in and shoot a floater. I have seen more and more, as she misses the second, I've seen more, and Nola Kate Bentley with the rebound.
And Chilton tries to back her down, puts up left-handed, no good, well short, and Waverly takes over. And it should be noted that Chloe Warren has checked out in favor of number 3, Haley Gordon.
But as I was saying, Josh, the growth that Ava Floyd has had to recognize it's better for me to set my feet and shoot a jumper than it is for me to shoot a floater has been great.
So Maples was trying to drive into the paint there, and she is fouled by Ava Floyd. Cam, it certainly looks like Waverly's trying to establish themselves in the paint. Hickman County's making it very difficult for them.
Well, they've done it on the first chance, but on the second chance, they've allowed pretty easy as they get another offensive rebound and a bucket.
That was Tinley Maples there on the putback for Waverly. And Cam, you said it best right there. They are getting opportunity after opportunity for putbacks, and that's hurting the Bulldogs right now, although they still lead 8-6. Now Bentley with the ball. Dribbles back out, gives to Chilton at the left wing. Back over to Gordon. Gordon looking for help and finds Chilton.
So many times young players view defense as just when you play, as there's a loose ball, and it's called a jump ball, should be going Hickman County's way. But so many times young players view defense as just when they are guarding the ball. Defense is, you are supposed to be somewhere at all times, no matter where your defender is. You play defense the entire time the opponent has the ball, and that needs to be the mindset right now.
And Carly Everett, who's now in the game, finds King, and King goes to the basket and puts it off the glass for her first bucket of the game.
And great job there by Delaney, taking her time and making sure she makes that basket.
When Everett knocks it loose, but she is able to secure it, they push it down the floor. Chilton there to meet the ball handler, and now Waverly may have to reset as Damesworth now has the ball. Now to the corner. 3. Good by Lacey Coffin.
Communication there. Carly Everett just checked in and she lost sight of her man. It happens, but from now on we got to lock that in.
Chilton driving to the paint, layup. It falls in. And Cam, that might be one of the most aggressive drives we've seen Zoe Chilton take all season.
Yeah, Josh, and she's had a few of those throughout the year, but I love it when she steps up and does that.
Now Waverly tries to go to the paint off the hands of Tinley Maples, and Hickman County will take over. Just over a minute left in the first quarter of play. Hickman 12, Waverly 9. Chloe Warren now back into the game for the Lady Dogs. And the officials trying to sort out these substitutions. So Chloe Warren now in for the Lady Dogs, but I think Tinley Davis was trying to check in, but unable to do so. Now Everett out that left wing. Nice move, drives into the bucket, tries to put it up. Shot won't go, but she's fouled, and number 5 will go to the free throw line for the first time today.
And Josh, we've seen so many times Carly Everett early in the season, she's really looking for jump shots, and I've seen these last few games she's prioritized getting to the rim, which is the most effective way of scoring. And I really like her aggressiveness there.
Carly Everett makes a free throw number 1 as Zoe Chilton will take a bit of a reprieve as Tinley Davis will check in for her. And Everett's second free throw, up and in.
Josh, it's an exciting thing to see Tinley Davis in this early in the game. It just proves that Coach Gordon is gaining trust in her, and that gives him another rotation.
And Maples wide open in the paint. Easy two for the Tigers. So Floyd now up top, gives to Warren at the left wing. Warren drives in hard, puts it up, won't go, but she's fouled. So Cam, it looks like the Lady Dogs know the game they want to play today. They want to drive in. They don't want to rely as much on shots from beyond the perimeter, although Zoe did knock down a three earlier. And when you're not making layups, more often than not, you'll get fouled, and the Lady Dogs making it work here tonight. Warren unable to make free throw number one.
Yeah, Josh, and that's something that, you know, if I'm Coach Gordon, I'm telling them, get to that rim. They don't have big girls, and you are more skilled than they are. Step up as they cause a turnover right there.
That was Cotham there of Waverly, called on the walk. 35 seconds remain in the first quarter of play. 3 points separate the two teams. Hickman 14, Waverly 11. Ball's inbounded, Everett to Warren. Warren gives over to Davis. Davis drives in, kicks out to Gordon. Gordon now looks to drive. She kicks out to Everett. Everett dribbles in, now over. Davis from three. Good! The freshman making her mark on this basketball game here early. 15 seconds now. And a blocking foul is called on Chloe Warren.
And Josh, that's something that we talked about earlier in the game, playing defense with your feet. Beat her to the sideline instead of trying to stay there with her. Trying to stay there with her causes that foul.
Waverly inbounds it. 10 seconds remain. They need to be in a hurry if they want any points in this quarter. And it's thrown wildly. Warren picks it up, drives to the paint, left-handed layup, no good. It's a scrap for the ball, and Waverly picks it up, and time will expire. So Hickman County misses the opportunity to conclude the first quarter with points, but they still find themselves in the lead at 17-11. Second quarter basketball on the way when we come back here on WNKX.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life.
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the Energy Pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each. Apology. Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Welcome back to WNKX. I'm Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters. Thank you for tuning in tonight, whether it be on YouTube or we bring you Hickman County Sports in Waverly. We'll have possession first to start the second quarter. Hickman County playing aggressive defense off the rip. Damesworth tries to put it up, no good, rebounded by Warren. So Warren pushes it up the floor, finds Gordon. Oh, a tough pass to Warren. She tries to go up, but it's knocked away, no foul, but it will stay with the Lady Dogs.
Josh, and they just did something that they didn't do great in the second half. There were two girls in help side to stop them from having an open post shot.
And Floyd, quick catch and release three, no good, fall. And that's McLemurray. Up top, guarded by Gordon. Tries to drive in, but can't. Now swings it over to Rhodes. Rhodes from three, no good. But she gets her own rebound and goes to the basket and gets the layup. And Cam, if you're Hickman County, that's something you can absolutely not have happen. Have someone attempt a three, get her own rebound, and have an easy two. And
Yeah,
Gordon,
Josh, that is something that will drive a coach crazy. You know, and they always say follow your shot, because the least likely person to get boxed out is the shooter. But it needs to be a priority.
Pass. Bentley from 3. No good. It rolls around the 17-13 your score, and they move it down the floor in a hurry. That's Cotham. Guarded by Warren. Passes to Damesworth underneath. Guarded by King. Puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Bentley. Now Hickman. Now the sense of urgency. Warren goes to the basket. Has it knocked away. And out of bounds. Hickman County maintains possession. Chilton will be the one inbounding from the baseline. Tough bounce pass to King. Nice pass by Chilton. King puts up left-handed. Oh, no good. Not a favorable roll, but she gets her own rebound. Cannot get the putback. And Gordon will force the jump ball.
And Josh, something that we haven't really seen all game is second chance opportunities. We didn't capitalize there, but great job there by Haley Gordon being at the right place at the right time to get that jump.
Bentley now at the left wing. Gives up to Chilton. Chilton from 3. Her second of the game.
And Josh, Zoe is shooting it with such confidence today. You know, even her miss looked really good. So this is a good sign for things to come.
So Hickman widens the lead to 7, 20-13 your score, as they continue this press defense. Rhodes drives into Damesworth. Damesworth met by King and forced to reset. There's Maple trying to drive in, but has it tipped away by Chilton, but it's corralled by Waverly, and the shot is denied by Hickman County, and they will pick it up and take over. Warren corrals it at the left wing, dribbles in, kicks it out, Gordon. Now to Bentley. Bentley, a deep 3. Short off the mark. Gordon tries to keep it in bounds to no avail, and it will be a turnover. And Ava Floyd checks in for Haley Gordon. Ball's inbounded now by the Lady Tigers. She tries to find her woman underneath, but it's intercepted and stolen by Zoe Chilton, and she is fouled before she has a chance to bring it up the floor.
And Josh, this is something that we talked about last night. Before Christmas break, in this press that they've been playing, it's a full court man trap. It's not the easiest thing in the world to run, and it will exhaust you. But they have done a really good job of, when they commit to doubling, they are flying at them, and that's caused a lot of turnovers.
Warren drives, kicks it back out to Chilton. Chilton has it knocked away for a moment, but does regain control and gives it over to Bentley, to Floyd. Hickman County picked up by Rhodes, and she will now try to run the offense. Rhodes gives over to McLemurray. She drives in left-handed, guarded by Warren on the baseline, loses control, and gives it back out to Rhodes. Rhodes now to Damesworth in the paint, drives in herself, tries to go up and in, no good, but she is fouled, I believe, by Delaney King. And they get Chloe Warren for the foul.
Josh, that was a great job there by Hickman County. They played defense for a long time, and you know, I've said it before, playing defense for more than 15 seconds is not an easy thing to do, and Waverly forced them to do that there, but they stayed with it.
So free throw number 1 by Damesworth is no good. Number 2 on the way. And this one falls. The Tigers go from 13 to 14. Lady Dogs still at 20. And Cam, someone that we had to keep a close eye on last time was this young lady, Hope Damesworth. She was one of the big scorers for Waverly last time these two teams faced off. Very aggressive underneath, and Hickman County needs to be prepared for her going forward.
Yeah, Josh, and the thing is when she's a primary scorer, you have to know where she's located at.
The ball gets away, but Gordon tries to save it, but her foot does hit the sideline, and it will be a turnover by the Lady Dogs.
And Josh, there's a set called right there, a set play, and it just looked like the Lady Dogs were kind of thrown off. As Ava Floyd
comes in and knocks it away as it sails into the crowd. It will stay with Waverly, but you love halting their momentum if you're Coach Gordon. So Waverly looking inbound. That's Prince, inbounds it to Damesworth. Now under 4 minutes left in the first half. And Gordon will be called there on the blocking foul.
Yeah, and right there, Haley, when she went to go double, kind of attacked at the hip. When you're doubling somebody that's coming hard off the dribble, what you want to do is try to get them to turn back into their own defender. So if she will come a little farther out but be more angled to get her back toward her defender, that'll be the adjustment to make.
Trying to find Damesworth in the paint, sails just out of her reach and goes off her fingertips. So Hickman County takes over. And Cam, Hickman County is forcing Waverly into a lot of errant passes here tonight, which is definitely a plus for this defense.
Yeah, Josh, the defensive energy has been high, and as Haley Gordon with a wide open layup.
And a great pass by Bentley, a great cut by Gordon. Hickman County with their first bucket in some time, but they still lead 22-14. And a pass deep down the court, picked up. That's Maples to the paint, jump stop, puts it up and in. She was able to get Nola Kate Bentley to bite on defense to set up the easy basket. So Floyd ready to run the offense.
Things to come.
And Carly Everett checking in for Delaney King, of course, your Hickman County Lady Dogs, adorned in the red uniforms with white lettering, Waverly in the white with blue lettering. And the second free throw is no good and goes out of bounds on the off the Tigers. So Hickman County will stay with possession. Chilton inbound. Goes way deep to Bentley. Bentley gives over to Floyd. Floyd drives, kicks out to Gordon. Gordon along the baseline. And there is a foul. There's a foul called on number 20, Jaylee Prince of the Tigers.
And that was a great job there by Haley, recognizing that her defender was going to overplay her. But if Ava would go through right there, go baseline, as she takes a tough jumper. And
no good, rebounded by Damesworth of Waverly, and Everett there to meet her. And she travels. That was some phenomenal defense played on that far side by Carly Everett to force the travel.
Now, Josh, that was a dangerous spot to be in, because Carly right there had her hand down around her hip, and you know that gets fouled. That gets called for a foul a lot.
And Chilton pump fakes, dribbles in to the paint, kicks it out. Everett from three, no good off the rim. And it goes out of bounds. Zoe Chilton knocks it away. So Waverly takes over. And Cam, I'm glad to see Carly Everett start to attempt these three-point shots again. We know in games prior, she has been lethal from beyond the perimeter.
Yeah, she's absolutely dangerous from deep, Josh. And it's tough when she's hitting from deep, because one turns into a bunch real quick.
So Prince looking for help, guarded by Floyd. Spins, looks to kick it back out to Cotham, but she is called for the walk. So 2:04 left in this first half of play. Lady Dogs 23, Waverly 16. So Floyd taking her time, bringing it up the floor. At the wing, screen by Chilton. Floyd drives in, nice move, gets the roll.
Yeah,
Tough
great
two.
job there by Ava, getting her defender to flip her hips twice. When you can get the defender to do that, they won't be able to stay in front of you.
So Prince with the ball, met by Floyd, tries to drive in, and a foul is called on Floyd. That's Ava's second foul of the game. Waverly inbounds, finds McLemurray. She puts it up, and it's good. So Waverly trails by 7.
And Josh, to finish out this half, I want to see these Lady Dogs get at least a couple of good shots up right here. So Ava Floyd, wide open layup, beats the defender.
That's a big layup off the glass there by Floyd to answer back the 2 of Waverly. McLemurray drives in on Gordon to the paint, mid-range shot, no good. Chilton gets the rebound and dishes it off to Bentley. A very physical rebound by Zoe. Now under a minute to go, 40 seconds. Oh, a tough pass in the paint. Goes off of a Waverly player, so Hickman County stays in control, but Cam, that was a tough pass to make there and a lot of traffic as Chloe Warren and Delaney King check in for Nola Bentley and Haley Gordon.
Yeah, Josh, and that's just a sign of not necessarily miscommunication, but just a miscue there on offense.
Floyd, corner 3, knocks it down.
That's a huge shot right there with 30 seconds left to go. Getting us up by double digits.
And that feels like Ava's first 3 in a while, Cam. We were used to seeing her points now come from the paint. And Everett gets a steal on the break. And an easy left-handed layup. And Cam, once it became a foot race, Carly Everett was winning that one 10 times out of 10 as Hickman County widens it 32-18, under 10 seconds to go in the first half. Waverly drives in mid-range, well off the glass, no good. Picked up by Chilton, and she secures it. And that will take us to the end of the first half. So a first half that was controlled by your Hickman County Lady Bulldogs, but 2 quarters still remain. And at the end of our second quarter, Hickman County 32, Waverly 18. Folks, we're going to take a brief halftime intermission, and we will be back before the start of the second half to give you a rundown of the first as we prepare for 2 more quarters of play.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern-style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life.
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX. We are just under a minute and a half away from the beginning of our second half. Here, Hickman County Lady Dogs are on the road tonight taking on the Waverly Tigers. And Cam, it was a pretty good first half for the Hickman County Lady Dogs. If you ask Coach Gordon, he'd probably say it could be better. But after the first half, your score, Hickman County 32, Waverly 18. And what we saw from the game was, Cam, Ava Floyd right now sits at 13. She is the leader for the Hickman County Lady Dogs in the point column, which we're used to seeing. But what I'm loving as well, it seems to be a balanced attack of sorts, right? We've seen Zoe Chilton get involved. She made a couple of big threes, as well as a 2-point bucket. She's sitting at 8 points right now. Delaney King had a tough 2. Carly Everett made a couple of free throws, as well as a tough 2-point bucket. And then we saw a big 3 by another freshman, Tinley Davis. So, Cam, it seems the love is being shared here by the Hickman County Lady Dog offense, even though Ava Floyd still has 13 points in the first half.
Yeah, Josh, and that's something I expect to continue, right, is a wide range of players scoring. The offense has looked sloppy. If there's one side of the ball that they have not looked great on, it's the offensive side. And so I would expect Coach Gordon to emphasize, bring the same energy that you brought on defense.
And we are underway here with the second half in the third quarter, and an offensive foul is called on Waverly within the first 10 seconds. So Hickman County already starting off with a bit of momentum. Zoe Chilton, Ava Floyd, Chloe Warren, Delaney King, and Nola Bentley are the 5 on the floor. Warren drives in for a tough 2. No good, too strong. But she is fouled and will go to the line.
Yeah, Josh, great job there by Chloe Warren. The only thing that I would say there is I want her to go through the contact instead of to the contact. But either way, you got sent to the free throw line. Great job.
And the first free throw by Warren is good, so she finds herself with her first point of the game. Number 2 is up and doesn't get a favorable bounce as it falls out. So Warren goes 1 for 2 on free throws as the Tigers try to make something happen. That's Damesworth with the ball at the right wing, guarded by King. Bounce pass underneath, knocked out of bounds by Floyd. Damesworth was looking for Kennedy Taylor, but Ava Floyd is just too strong underneath. Ball's inbounded by Waverly, but it's taken. And Waverly just trying to get some separation. So what looked like what could have been a jump ball is called a foul on Chloe Warren. That's her 3rd of the game.
Yeah, that puts her in an odd spot because it is the start of the second half, but thankfully we have a large enough lead where she can play not too conservative, but still play her game.
So Warren definitely not taking the foot off the gas. She's still playing tough defense. McLemurray now drives in, met by a couple of Lady Dogs. The layup is no good. It's a scrap, and Zoe Chilton the one to come out of the pile with the basketball.
And Josh, something that they struggled with at the start of the game that they've already started struggling with is Chloe Warren misses one off the front of the rim, is boxing out. Not seeing a lot of box outs right now. Need to see that improve.
So Waverly at the right wing, now back up top. Given back out to McLemurray, guarded by Warren. He has to drive in yet again. No success to be had as Ava Floyd picked up the rebound, but it was knocked out of bounds by McLemurray. Hickman County maintains possession as Chloe Warren and Delaney King will be checking out, and Carly Everett and Haley Gordon will be checking in. Ava drives in, takes it herself, a devious move, but can't cap it off with points. As Damesworth able to come up with it on the defensive end. Gordon meeting McLemurray up top. Dribbles right.
Great job right there by the Bulldog defense. I mean, what can you say? Haley Gordon causing the 5 seconds right there. But another huge component of that was Carly Everett guarding the post player. She was holding her own down there and did a wonderful job on that young lady.
Zoe Chilton at the right wing gives up top. Everett. And gives over. Gordon from 3. No good off the rim. Picked up by Damesworth. So now up the right side of the floor. Now past the right elbow. Rhodes dribbles in and hands it off to Damesworth. Dribbles around, tries to go up for the tough 2. No good. And it was off the hand of Nola Kate Bentley. Floyd, one-on-one to the basket.
Does win it almost every time.
And Damesworth misses the shot, rebounded by Chilton. Chilton moving up the floor, and now gives to Floyd. Dribbles in, gives over to Bentley. Now to Everett. Good. And Chilton tries to save it. 1.5 minutes left in this third quarter. Hickman County 35, Waverly 18. In the corner to Floyd. Floyd to the basket.
Sometimes in basketball, you can be too open. That might have been what happened there.
Well, I was about to call the optometrist eye appointment because I thought I was seeing things. So McLemore drives into the paint. It's knocked away, but right to a Tiger player. And now the deficit that they face. Gordon dribbles in hard on mid-range floater of sorts, and it's rebounded by the Tigers by Lacey Cotham, and Gordon is called for the foul.
Josh, right now it just looks like they're coming down on offense without a real plan, without setting anything up. There's been a couple possessions where they just kind of thrown up a shot, and it hadn't been necessarily bad shots, but they just seem kind of out of sorts and out of sync. I want to see them take time and put together a good possession next time down.
So Waverly having a tough time, and Gordon gets the turnover, and she puts up a tough layup. And it's picked up by number 12, Tinley Maples, and she is fouled by Zoe Chilton. No, Zoe's on the, I thought he said number 30.
20. It was Ava.
20. That's my mistake. And Cam, that was just a really risky shot there by Gordon. I think she felt like she had nowhere to go, and just to grip it and rip it there. And Haley runs it down, but McLemore picks it up, tries to find someone in the paint, no one there, but the high post shot well off the mark. And it hits the baseline out of bounds on Waverly, and Cam, that had me all in knots. I was trying to figure out what was going on. That was a deep bomb there.
That looked like a 4-year-old soccer game where they just move in a mass and there just happens to be a ball pop out every now and then. That was nonsense.
But all credit to the Waverly player with that Tom Brady-like pass. Coast to coast. Hickman County, no harm, no foul. They'll take over. Floyd at the left wing. Dribbles in, screen by King. Nice spin move, takes it to the basket. She's fouled. The shot cannot go, but Floyd can go to the free throw line. So a couple of free throws here for Floyd. Knocks down number 1. Her 16th point of the game. And there's 17. 37-20 your score in favor of the Lady Dogs. That's Prince driving in, looks for Damesworth in the paint, met by King. Damesworth tries to shoot it over King, and she succeeds with a tough 2.
Yeah, Josh, that was a really tough shot with a couple good head fakes right there.
And the whistle blows. The official, I believe, indicated a clock issue. And now they allow Waverly to substitute. Warren will be inbounding from the sideline. Gives it out to Floyd. And Floyd from 3. Have mercy, number 20, as she knocks down her second 3 of the game.
And Josh, that's something that, you really want to see more out of in this young lady. she's been so good 15 feet and in over these past few weeks that we've watched her. But from deep, she's been struggling. I think tonight is a sign for good things to come.
And Ava plays great defense underneath. And a foul is called, and Hickman County will secure the possession. A very physical rebound there by Delaney King.
Yeah, Josh, things have been getting a little, they've been decently physical in this second half, I've noticed. They've let the girls play somewhat, and there weren't really a lot of fouls called in the first half either, so it's definitely been getting more physical as the game has gone on.
So Warren up top, guarded by Maples, gives to Gordon. The right wing, looking for help, finds Floyd. Floyd from three. Oh, they have families, Ava, as she knocks down another. 43-22 your score. And a tough pass by Thamesworth, and Ava knocks it away. Ava Floyd is on a generational run, knocks down a three, packs the ball out of bounds.
I mean, if she's feeling it from deep, Josh, why would you not keep feeding her, right?
A mid-range shot by no good, picked up by Damesworth. And a three by Rhodes, no good off the back of the rim, rebounded by Prince. Prince tries to bounce pass it out. No one there, out of bounds, Hickman County ball.
And Josh, there's another example there of a situation where not all 5 people were committed to boxing out, and that resulted in an offensive rebound. Sometimes you get lucky when one person or nobody boxes out and you get a rebound, but it's tough because eventually that's going to come bite you in the butt. But they picked it back up and ready for a bucket.
So Floyd dribbles in, and they were ready for Ava. They sent 3 girls after her, but she still drives in, mid-range. And Cam, I guess you'll have to send all 5, and even then that might not be enough.
Yeah,
Ava
Josh,
on a tear.
She's feeling it tonight. She felt it last night. I mean, she's one of those, when a shot's going in, just give her the rock and get out of the way.
So Prince with the ball guarded by Davis. Tries to find Maples, and Maples snags the high pass. Drives in, looks for a mid-range over Floyd, no good, and Floyd picks up the rebound. Passes up the floor, Gordon, it's a breakaway, one-on-one, Gordon lays it up and in for the Lady Dogs. And Cam, that was Gordon's first bucket of the game.
Yeah, Josh, and she has taken a couple really good looks tonight, but it's good to see her get her first.
So Rhodes tries to drive in, no good off the glass, but she is fouled, and that will send her to the line. So 47-22 your score, under 15 seconds to go. In the third quarter, free throw number 1 is no good. Nola Bentley subbing in for Chloe Warren. Lacey Cotham subbing in for Jaylee Prince. Free throw number 2 rattles around and falls in for the Tigers. So there's a stoppage. I believe they called Waverly with the foul there.
No, it was actually a clock issue. The clock had not started yet, Josh. They hadn't had it go in like 5 seconds.
So Floyd snags it. 10 seconds down the third. She'll drive it herself. Tries to kick it back out, but nothing there as Damesworth intercepts it. They just try to heave, and it's no good. Watch your heads, cheerleaders. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. And after 3, Hickman County 47, Waverly 22. One more quarter remains. Don't go anywhere here on WNKX.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? Good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And we are just about set for fourth quarter basketball. The Lady Dogs with a sizable lead as they look to salt this one away and pick up their second win in a row on the road. We score 47-23 as the teams are slowly starting to make their way onto the floor. And Cam, what a game it has been. Of course, Ava Floyd, who started off strong yesterday in the first quarter, has really found her stride tonight later on in the game. So a little bit of reverse there.
Yeah, and you got to think a part of that is the fact that they did play last night. You know, that's going to cause a little fatigue in the first half, but they got in the groove of the game, and she's obviously picked it up quite well.
So Hickman County starts off with possession. Ava dribbles in to the paint. Tries to go up to the basket. The shot is no good, but she is fouled, and she will head to the free throw line.
You know, Josh, something I'm really taken back by is the fact that Waverly has been in a man-to-man defense the entire night. Now, it was working remotely well in the first half, but there has been zero adjustments on that sideline of how to guard, and I get it. When one player is tearing you up as bad as this, you think, oh, let me stick somebody on them and have the other four to help. But at some point, you got to switch a look up because Ava Floyd is tearing them apart.
And Floyd goes 1 for 2 on her free throws. Waverly on their offensive possession misses the shot picked up by Damesworth. She tries to go up. And in all the confusion, Hickman County comes up with it. Floyd on the break. And she goes up, and it rolls, and it falls.
I mean, Josh, when you're feeling this good, the ball's just going to find the bottom of the net.
Hickman County breaks 50. They reach the half-century mark. Owen Gordon tries for the tough steal, can't quite corral it. Tough bounce past Damesworth in the paint over King, no good. Maples gets the board, and Chilton fighting for the ball and forces the jump. Of course, the possession arrow will stay with Waverly, but still a great defensive effort there by Chilton underneath the play physical. Waverly now to inbound from the baseline. Finds Tillman. Tillman has it taken away by Floyd. Floyd passes it up to Gordon. And she jump stops, an easy layup for Haley Gordon. Give the assist to Ava Floyd.
And Josh, the reason that these Lady Dogs have done so well in the second half is they have really pushed the ball in transition. Coach Gordon talked about it last night. That's what they want to do, and they've done a great job of it.
The shot no good by the Tigers, rebounded by the Lady Dogs. And another pass deep down the floor. Gordon all alone lays it up. And it stops at the very top of the rim. So Gordon unable to get her bucket. And Cam, that's just unfortunate luck right there for Miss Gordon.
Yeah, Josh, and that's a result of that super tight rim. We talked about, we mentioned it at the start of this. You know, that the rim being that tight, that might happen. But yeah, just a unfortunate turn of events there.
Some would argue that is just a credit to Haley Gordon's pinpoint precision to land it right on that part of the rim. But Hickman County will take over, bounce pass. That's Kitty Bates, who's just checked into the game, another freshman. And I should also include that number 32, Josie Hassel, is in the game as well. So a couple of freshmen to be found on the floor. Rhodes drives the paint, overshoots the target, and Floyd with a tough rebound over Damesworth. And another big break here for the Lady Dogs. Floyd wants to take it herself, and she does. Another two for Ava Floyd.
I mean, Josh, I mean, she's playing out of her mind right now.
Pass to the paint. And a foul is called. And they get the freshman, Kitty Bates. And some more substitutions. Another freshman, number 33, Aubrey Anderson, checking in for Nola Bentley. A tough two right there by Tinley Maples, and it falls in. Make the score 54-25 in favor of the Lady Dogs. 5.5 to go in the game. Now Anderson with the ball, gives over to Hassel. Hassel, nice pass to Gordon, who cuts into the paint. Gordon takes it, big layup, no good. Off the glass, too strong. And now Waverly looking to set up their offense. Screen set by Prince. McLemurray gives over to Rhodes. Rhodes back to McLemurray. Tough two, no good off the rim. Damesworth, big rebound. The putback is good, and she's fouled. So that will send her to the free throw line. And Cam, I'm not sure if there's any girls basketball player in high school that plays as tough and as physical as Hope Damesworth of Waverly.
Yeah, Josh, both games we have played her, has absolutely gotten after it on both sides. Very impressed with how aggressive this young lady plays. She is always trying to put 100% out there, and she gets everything that she puts into it.
And Damesworth caps off the three-point play with the made free throw. Hassel inbounds to Floyd. Everett checks into the game as well, so there's 4 freshmen on the floor, 1 sophomore. Everett dribbles in, tries to bounce pass it to Bates, off the mark, and stolen away by the Tigers. Now under 5 minutes to play. Prince guarded by Anderson. Tough pass to the paint, off the hands of Damesworth and picked up by the Lady Dogs. Now Floyd looking to slow things down a bit. On to bleed some clock, no doubt. Give, Everett. Tough bounce pass to Hassel. Hassel back out, Everett from deep. No good, rattles in and out, and Damesworth picks it up. And Cam, it's rare that the American sniper, Carly Everett, misses her mark. She's had a couple of missed threes so far, but if we know her, she's going to keep shooting.
Yeah, Josh, and it's important for her to keep shooting, and shooting with confidence, because she deserves to have it.
And Prince, the three, no good off the back of the rim. Put back by Waverly, no good, and Floyd secures the board. She pushes it down the left side of the floor. Everett, quick pass. Hassel tries to find Anderson. Anderson puts it up, no good, batted down by Maples, and Waverly takes over now under 4 minutes to play. Hickman County still with a sizable lead. Prince now gives over to Rhodes. Rhodes finds Maples underneath, and she caps it off with a 2. Give Rhodes the assist. The lead now 24 is the deficit that the Tigers face. 54-30 your score. I'm looking to see these freshmen get some buckets, Cam. And Floyd, corner. Anderson wants to pull up a...
And a great call by Coach Gordon to set up a play to get her that shot. And great job of that young lady to stay calm and knock it down.
It's now Prince guarded by Anderson. Prince tries to drive in. She'll take a shot off the glass, and it rolls in for a 2. Under 3 minutes to go. Floyd to Everett. Everett from deep. No good. And Hassel tries to get the offensive rebound to no avail. Picked up by Damesworth. And Waverly now runs their offense. McLemurray.
Josh, most young ladies, the thing that I'm always impressed with about Carly Everett is her range. Most young ladies, not even seniors, have the kind of range that she does.
And Everett, the left side of the floor. Mid-range shot. Good. Carly Everett, her second 2 of the game. Her 6-point total. McLemurray guarded by Everett. Tries to dribble in. Passes over. That's Naples. Rolls in and out. Picked up by Damesworth. The putback, no good. But she's fouled, and that will send number 14 of Waverly to the free throw line. 1 minute, 57 seconds to go. Hickman County 59, Waverly 32. Damesworth knocks down number 1. And Ava Floyd has checked out of the game, I imagine, for the final time as Tinley Davis comes in to complete the freshman 5 now on the floor. Damesworth knocks down free throw number 2. She goes 2 for 2. Hickman County, of course, all freshmen on the floor looking to run the offense. Davis gives Everett from 3, wide open look, and no good off the back of the rim. A good look there by Everett, but sometimes they don't fall. And Waverly picks up the board, looking to add a few more points to make this a respectable final. Prince, tough pass underneath the Maples, and Hassel knocks it away. And that was an emphatic denial right there.
Yeah, it's a great job by her to front that post defender. By front, I mean getting literally in front of the post defender to not allow that pass inside.
And Damesworth gets her own rebound and drives in and gets the 2. Everett drives in, mid-range. Oh, no good. Tries to get her own rebound, but cannot. It's picked up by Harper Rhodes of Waverly, and they push it down the floor. McLemore from 3, no good. And Prince pushes off there, I believe. She does, and Hickman County will take over possession. Just over a minute to go in the game. And I believe Waverly now trying to get a couple of their younger girls some minutes. They're now under 1 minute. Anderson gives over to Hassel. A lot of passes here. Davis drives in and has it ripped away by Damesworth. A tough pass, the 2, no good. But Taylor is fouled and she will go to the line. And they get Davis on the foul. And Cam, after last night, of course, definitely not a perfect game by any means by Hickman County, but they were able to scrape by and finish strong against Santa Fe. But tonight, a different story. They have played pedal to the metal for all 4 quarters, and this has been one of the most complete games that I've seen these Lady Dogs play.
Yeah, Josh, they've absolutely dominated tonight on every end of the floor. But most of all, what I'm impressed with is the young freshmen and sophomores that have gotten in. In the past, when they've gotten in late in these games, the lights have looked a little bright and they're kind of unsure of themselves. Tonight, they've done very well. They've got to play almost 4 minutes of basketball at the end of this game, so they've done a great job.
Anderson being swarmed, gives over to Everett. Dangerously close to the midcourt line. Nice move to give some separation. Under 30 seconds to play. Everett's trying to run this clock out. Gives over to Bates. Bates back to Everett. And Davis dribbles around. Now over to Hassel. A double team. Gets it over to Bates. And Bates almost has it ripped away there by Rhodes. And a jump ball is called. 6.1 seconds remain. So you think that jump ball there is simply a formality. A delaying of the inevitable, if you will. It's inbounded. McLemore drives in on Everett. And a deep 3 by Rhodes as time expires, off the mark. And the Hickman County Lady Dogs take a trip down to Waverly and emerge victorious by a final score of 59-37. And man, Cam, what a basketball game it was. And Cam, I think it should be noted, as well as everyone played, how about Ava Floyd? Back-to-back games with 30 points, right? When we watch these Lady Dogs play, most of the games have been relatively low scoring with a close margin, but Ava Floyd has absolutely blown things wide open these last 2 games. Of course, 30 points, no easy feat, right? No matter who you are on that basketball court, I think we need to give her all the praise in the world. But of course, we saw Zoe Chilton start off hot. She did kind of cool off a little bit towards the end, but even when she wasn't making threes or getting a lot of buckets, she was still doing her job on the floor. So we need to give a lot of credit to that young lady as well.
Yeah, Josh, Zoe didn't play a ton in the second half, mostly just the beginning of the third quarter when they kind of put the game away. But, I mean, Ava Floyd tonight was masterful. I mean, really, especially how effective she was in the second half. She really put this game away and out of touch.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us here for this Hickman County Lady Dog basketball game. A big congratulations to the team as they emerge victorious. And their next battle will be on Friday, January 10th, where we're finally back home in J.E. Cisco Memorial Gymnasium in Centerville, Tennessee, where the Hickman County Bulldogs will host Harpeth. But if you enjoyed that game, don't worry, we still have one more to come here tonight as the boys of Hickman County High School will take on the boys of Waverly. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on WNKX. For Cameron Peters, I'm Josh Copley. We will see you shortly.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out. Pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX Live. We just had a very entertaining girls basketball game where the Lady Dogs were victorious over Waverly, and now we're about ready for the Hickman County boys team to take on the boys of Waverly. And Cam, Hickman County certainly needs the win here tonight. It was a very sloppy performance last night by the Hickman County Bulldogs. I think last night they just were not ready mentally for the onslaught that Santa Fe was about to bring to them.
Josh, you know, you used the word sloppy, I'll use the word bad. It was a bad performance from them last night. This team is better than what they showed last night, and, you know, from what I've seen so far, they seemed a lot more locked in tonight. They know that they messed around, and you know, when you have a guy that scores 3,000 points and then another guy that's at least over 1,000 playing against you, you got to respect them more than they did last night, and I think they learned their lesson. And if they didn't, they might get burned again, but they look like they are locked in, ready to go. You know, I don't know that we've seen them be fully locked in and motivated to get a win like we are right now. This team looks like they are ready to win, and so that makes me excited for tonight and to see what might happen.
And Cam, I would argue that there's nothing more motivating than whenever your pride is on the line, right? Hickman County had their pride hurt last night, and they're looking to regain it here tonight as they take on Waverly. And Cam, last night was the first time we'd played Santa Fe, right? We'd heard rumors, we've seen film, we sort of knew what to expect, but nothing truly prepares you for a team until you actually play them. But with Waverly, we've played them before, we've beaten them before. Hickman County doesn't need to be overconfident, but you need to play with a certain swagger. Knowing you've beat them before, we can do it again. Not only can you do it again, but you need to do it again, right? Hickman County still 8-6 on the year after last night, so no reason to panic yet, but you have a tough road stretch ahead to close out this season. We won't see J.E. Cisco but a handful of more times before the tournaments begin. So I think you need to take advantage of the games you have like tonight, learn how to play on the road, learn how to execute on an opposing team's floor, and take care of business when you know you can take care of business.
Yeah, Josh, and you know this team can easily be beaten. Go out and prove that, right? It is prove not only who you are, but prove who you can be. And I don't think we've seen the best of Hickman County, but tonight I think there's a good chance that we might, because I expect to see them fully motivated.
Well, and Cam, we look back to last night, it's easy to think about the negative, right? But I think there's some positives to be found in it as well. We saw Will McDonald, we saw Dylan Qualls really step up in the second half of the game. Of course, there was a large gap between the two teams, and it felt like they were already too deep in a hole to dig themselves out of. But it's still nice to see them not giving up on a game, fighting to the very end. But I think so long as they play how they did in that second half and amplify it and then spread it across all 4 quarters, I think they're going to be quite all right.
Yeah, Josh, and tonight, you know, I'll fully expect it to be a big night for our top guy, Elisha Puckett. And I think he's coming out with a fire underneath him.
And Cam, as they introduced the starting lineups for the Hickman County Bulldogs, how about number 2, the sophomore, Braden Brown, a part of the starting 5? And Cam, we have called his number a lot the last few games because of his hustle, because of his effort, because of how he plays the game. And Cam, it has finally earned him a spot on this starting 5.
Yeah, Josh, he played so well last night. There were 2 main bright spots for these dogs in that really bad game last night. Obviously, Elisha Puckett was one, but the other was Braden Brown and his mentality and the way he played defensively. It was absolutely incredible to watch him play last night. And for me, I just love watching him play for the sake of effort alone, right? This young man gives everything he has. When he goes home, there's nothing that he can't say he left out there on that court.
I agree 100%, Cam, and it's always nice to see hard work being rewarded too. Right, whenever Tim Puckett was going on his tear, we saw him get rewarded with a starting spot as well. Right, Braden Brown has done the same thing, and that shows Coach Dawson trusts his younger guys, his guys that aren't seniors. Even in Braden Brown's case, his guys that aren't even juniors. Right, so he definitely has the mentality of earn your minutes. And these Bulldogs definitely have. And of course, your starting 5 outside of Braden Brown, there's usually part of the course. We see Will McDonald, Elisha Puckett, Dylan Qualls, and Tyler McKinnon. And Cam, we talked about this in the girls' game, the tight rim on the left side of us. It looks like they were doing some work on that, maybe something they didn't like, maybe loosening it up just a little bit.
I sure hope so, because it was like shooting against a brick last time. We got some pregame antics. They didn't like. They did not like Will McDonald's undershirt, so he's going without an undershirt, and he had to be subbed out because of that. So we now have Charlie Blosted entered in.
So here we go. Dylan Qualls lined up with Malachi Burns. Blysted, corner, it's Qualls on the baseline, drives in, kicks it out, Brown, Puckett from 3, no good, but McKinnon just too tall underneath, and the putback is way too easy for the 6'6" center.
And that's something we didn't see all night last night. 1, offensive rebounding, 2, Tyler McKinnon showing up.
That's Dilly, gives the corner. It's Williams for 3, no good. Picked up by Braden Brown, and he picks it up in stride. Down the floor, Blysted checks it, gives to McKinnon, to Puckett. He tries from 3, no good off the mark. And Williams lets it roll out of bounds. Waverly ball. So Cam, Elisha playing aggressive early, a couple of tough 3 attempts. Not gonna fall, but we know Elisha, that won't last long if they keep giving him open looks. So Burns up the floor. Bulldogs playing aggressive defensively. Qualls to meet him. Bounce pass in the corner. Dilly to Ralston. Ralston back to Burns. Burns dribbles back over to Dilly. Dilly tries to drive in over McKinnon, and he gets the 2.
Now, Hickman County came out in a man-to-man full-court trap. Same thing that the girls were running, but there they were.
Williams on the drive, but it's taken away. Elisha one-on-one, and he puts it up and in over Brennan Dilly. So Dilly gives over. That's Burns. Burns bounce pass. Rumsey puts it up and in.
And
so
Josh,
4-4 your score. We're tied. 6.5 to go in the first quarter.
Right there was a result of being lazy in help side. They weren't prepared for that, and they got burned on it. You have to be ready. It's all 5 guys playing defense, not just one guy on the ball.
And McKinnon unable to make the left-handed layup, and it's picked up by Waverly. Williams with the ball up top, guarded by Blystad. Screen set by Rumsey. McKinnon there to greet Williams. Tough bounce pass to Rumsey. Ball's on the floor, off the hands of Burns, and he corrals it in the left corner. Gives mid-range shot. That's Ralston, no good. Picked up by Brown as it goes off the fingers of Corbin Rumsey. Brown on the drive, pulls up, gives it back Elisha. Pump fake, step back 3. No good. So Elisha 0 for 3 so far from beyond the perimeter.
And Josh, I love having Braden Brown in because he adds a guy that can push the ball down the court with dribbling. We really don't see that outside of just Elisha. Braden Brown adding that element makes them such a tougher defense or such a tougher offense to guard by pushing the ball up the floor.
Ball's hand move, kicks out to Dilly. Dilly back out to Rumsey. Rumsey, left elbow, dribbles in on McKinnon. McKinnon. And the presence of McKinnon makes that shot difficult for Rumsey, and the shot no good. Qualls dribbles in hard. Layup no good, but gets his own putback.
Great job there by Dylan, not giving up on his own shot, staying with that.
So Burns guarded by Elisha. Finally gives over to Rumsey. Hands off to Dilly. Dilly drives, kicks out to the corner. Now up top. Pull up 3, no good. Brown picks it up. Elisha dribbles in on Burns on the baseline, dribbles it back around the world, gives to Qualls. Qualls drives in. Oh, and a lot of contact. He tries to put it up. The foul is called on Ralston. And that will send number 11 to the free throw line. So they actually do not rule it a shooting foul. They say it was before his shot attempt. Qualls at the free throw line. I think he was expecting the shot. But Elisha will inbound from the baseline. Floats it to Qualls. Nice snag with one hand. Qualls dribbles it hard. Jump stop. Nice pass to Elisha underneath. And the layup goes up and in for the Dogs.
And Josh, that's two guys that were perfectly placed on offense. And a foul there by Braden Brown, but one you don't hate to see. It was a pure hustle foul. But Dylan, Elisha being in the short corner on the baseline, that's a sneaky spot to be in and one that you're going to be open a lot of times. That's just him knowing ball. But Dylan Qualls seeing him and giving him that dish, great job.
And the Bulldogs, some nice defense there, making it a tough inbound. Ralston, up left side of the floor, finds Dilly. Dilly now across the midcourt line. The corner, it's Burns, pump fake on the baseline, mid-range floater, it's good. So these two teams exchanging blows like a couple of boxers.
And
8-6 your score, Hickman County leads.
Josh, this Waverly offense has looked discombobulated and unsure of themselves, but they keep coming up with buckets somehow.
Qualls unable to finish off the drive with a couple points, and Waverly picks it up with a chance to tie. Under 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Really wants to drive. Just throws it up errantly. Good defense by Elisha. And McDonald up the floor. Kicks it. Brown pulls up from three. No good. Snagged by Burns. Burns pushing it quickly. Over Qualls, a lot of contact, and they will get him on the foul.
And Josh, something that, you know, we've seen a lot this year is this team going after block shots. This Waverly team has already come out and has been pump faking this entire first 5 minutes of the game. You have to make that adjustment and realize they're going to pump fake. Let me stay on the ground and just give a good, solid contest.
And Malachi Burns' first free throw is no good. Number 2 on the way, and this one goes in. Nothing but net. Makes it a 1-point ball game, 8-7. Elisha gives over to Qualls. Pass a tight window, couldn't find it, and Waverly gets the takeaway. Williams up top, met by Qualls, bounce pass. Rumsey in the paint. There's Elisha. Kicks it back out. Before he can find Ty Brooks, he walks. So a big turnover there in Hickman County. Wolf take over possession.
And Josh, this Hickman County offense is just not finding their footing right now. It's just a little off right now. I don't know necessarily what it is, and it could be the fact Elisha hasn't shot well, but outside of that, you got to pick it up.
Elisha on the baseline, dribbles in hard, takes it himself mid-range, no good. Off the rim, and Qualls finds it. He'll dribble in hard, tough pass, Elisha from 3, no good. Rebounded by Rumsey. So Waverly takes over. Elisha, another missed 3. Very uncharacteristic, but that's the nature of the game. Burns drives in on Blystad, kicks it out to Ralston. Ralston dribbling in on McDonald, kicks out to Williams. Williams step back, gives Ralston to Brooks. Brooks tries to find Rumsey. No nothing there. Qualls on the drive, slams it. Vintage Qualls.
And Josh, that's something we need to see more of, is people jumping these passing lanes. Waverly has done a decent job of keeping us out of those passing lanes, but that's what I'm trying to jump after from now on if I'm the Hickman County Bulldogs.
And a tough mid-range shot there by Burns, falls in. That makes it 10-9. And Cam, how fun is it to see Dylan Qualls dunk the basketball, right? He is so exciting to watch when he's on a breakaway. And I think we've gotten to the point now where everyone sort of expects it, right? When there's no one in his vicinity, we know what's coming.
Yeah, Josh. Anytime you get to see a dunk in high school basketball, you know, is something awesome and special. But with a team that can fly like this, it's getting to be a regular thing. And but either way, that still makes it fun to watch.
What's not fun to watch, though, is them cleaning the floor. But, of course, it's necessary, right? Not everything has to be fun and enjoyable. So shout out to those cleaning the floor right now to prevent injuries, because that's the last thing we want.
Yeah, big play there by them. Appreciate the ref noticing and taking care of that.
I mean,
keeping these players safe.
Just the way they were shuffling the feet on the towel, it was really just next level talent there. And Hickman County will take over. Up by 1, Elisha at the right wing. Dribbles in, tough pass to Qualls. Qualls across the way. McDonald, corner 3, pulls up, buries the 3. And Will McDonald, Cam, hopefully this is a sign of things to come. We've been waiting for him to get hot. It's now under a minute to go, 13-9 your score, Hickman leads. Burns wants to drive on Brown, puts it up. It's good, he's fouled. And he will have a chance to go to the line to complete the 3-point and 1 play.
And Josh, that's a tough foul to give up right there. It's one of those, it's going to get called because your hands are down, and he went through them. But that was a little James Harden-esque.
And Burns cannot complete the play. The free throw is no good, and Elisha, with the rebound, brings it up the floor, the right side. Finds Qualls. Qualls dribbles in hard. Nice step. Floater. No good off the back of the rim. The ball is anyone's. And that ball was up for grabs. Dylan Qualls was having to fend off 3 Tigers players. But he comes out on top as he draws the foul, and Elisha will be inbounding it for Hickman County. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter.
And Josh, Dylan looks motivated tonight to make plays. Well, I guess
last
last night fired him up.
Qualls to McDonald. McDonald again from 3, I believe. It might have been off the finger of a Waverly player. But McDonald definitely feeling confident, willing to take those shots. It's now 10 seconds left. Williams driving it hard on Blystad. Looking for help. Burns from 3 with 5 seconds. No good. Braden Brown grabs it on the drive. 1 second. Elisha pulls up. Sinks it off the glass. Wow. At the buzzer.
And Josh, I think even though it was a bank shot and it was way off from the line that it was supposed to be on, seeing it go in, I think will do favors for Elisha as this game goes on.
Absolutely, Cam, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter. And at the end of 1, Hickman County leads by 5, 16-11. 3 quarters remain. We'll be right back here on WNKX.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? Good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cutting the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What?
Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Welcome back to WNKX. I'm Josh Copley alongside Cameron Peters. We're live here in Waverly as your Hickman County Bulldogs lead the Tigers 16-11 as we are about to start the second quarter. And Cam, that final play of the first quarter really speaks to the unpredictability of basketball. Elisha Puckett goes cold 0 for 4 from beyond 3, but then makes a buzzer beater half-court three-pointer off the glass.
Yeah, Josh, and that just comes from the confidence and practice and the trust in himself to just keep shooting.
And Brooks takes it all the way to the glass. Dribbles around the world there, but a very impressive play as Waverly starts off the second quarter with a couple of points. Brown wants to drive in, kicks it to Puckett. Puckett to Qualls. Qualls to McDonald. McDonald open, look from 3. Good. Well, McDonald heating up now, 2 for 3 from the three-point line. Williams now gives to Brooks. Brooks to Rumsey. Rumsey back to Dilly. Dilly to Williams. Williams bounce pass to Burns. Burns met by Qualls. Burns tries to go over Qualls, and he gets the 2. 19-15 is your score in favor of the Dogs. Qualls dribbles in hard. No good. Rebounded by Brooks.
And Josh, right there, great move by Dylan Qualls, putting it over the smaller defender.
And Burns lays it up and in, and Waverly going on a bit of a run here. And Elisha gives over to Qualls. Qualls McDonald. McDonald again from 3. No good. Misses it left. Billy drives and kicks it to Burns in the corner. Burns met by McDonald. And over to Williams. That was a dribble in. Tough pass. Tries to find Brooks. Nothing there. Blystad knocks it away, and Qualls, a perfect pass on the money. And Elisha with a devious move and lays the left-handed layup up and in.
Yeah, great job. We all know that when this Hickman County offense gets out in transition, that is when it is at its best. And right now in this close of a game, I think we need to live in transition as much as we can right now.
Burns in that corner goes way over to Dilly up top. Quickly over to Brooks. Brooks dribbles in. Now hesitates and goes to the high post, now to the elbow. Tries to give it off to Dilly, nothing there. And Brown does a nice job of getting the ball out. Now Elisha pulls up, but then decides to dribble in, takes it himself off the glass and in. So Cam Elisha elected not to take that open look 3 he would have had, and instead decides to drive in and take his 2 off the glass. A very aggressive Elisha Puckett we're seeing here tonight.
Yeah, Josh, and you know that he is such a disciplined, intelligent player. That's what separates him from almost anybody we play. He might not be the most athletic guy on the floor, but my goodness, is he the smartest guy on the floor. I have not seen a game where he hasn't been the most intelligent, not just from a book standpoint, but he knows basketball so well, has such a good feel for the game. Such an impressive young man to watch.
And timeout was called by Waverly, which is always a good sign if you're the opposing team, forcing them to take a timeout to force them to reset, to gather themselves. Only 6 points separate the 2 teams here with under 5 minutes to go in the first half. 23-17 your score. So now both teams emerge from their timeout. Following this timeout, Waverly will start with possession. Brooks will be the man to inbound from the sideline.
Well, Josh, while we wait on the scoreboard to get back to working, I would just like to update everybody on the Florida-Tennessee game. Florida is up 58-27. A great day to be a Gator.
And a terrible day to be a Vol, I say as a Tennessee Volunteers fan. But when you're undefeated, you're bound to find a bump in the road eventually. 2 talented teams doing battle, just as we're seeing here tonight. And speaking of talent, Timothy Puckett, Brody Worley, and Kylan Seal, 3 talented young men, have checked into the game for the first time tonight for the Bulldogs.
And Josh, Hickman County has gone to a 2-3 zone. We haven't seen this in a little bit from them. Interested to see how it plays here.
Billy thought about it, but gives over to Brooks. Brooks to Rumsey underneath in the paint. Worley tries to knock it loose, can't. And Rumsey gets rid of it. Back to Dilly. Over to Burns in the corner. Finds Ralston in the paint, guarded by Seal. Back to Burns. Burns dribbles in mid-range. No good. And Elisha comes up with it. It's a breakaway. Elisha! Jam! It's not just Qualls that can throw him down, Cam. Elisha Puckett has shown himself very capable of getting up as well. So 25-17 your score. Burns with a 3, no good. A lot of contact, grabbed by Rumsey. Gets it back out, but it's tipped away by Puckett, but Ralston right there in the right place at the right time to pick it up. Dilly at the right wing. Moves it to Brooks. Brooks, tough bounce pass to Ralston, high post. And finds Dilly, right wing. Now bounce passes to Rumsey. Dribbles in, kicks it over to Brooks. Brooks from 3 over Puckett. No good off the back of the rim. It kicks out, and Will McDonald there to pick it up. Hands it off. Elisha from 3. No good. But Tim Puckett corrals the rebound. Waverly at the left wing. Gives it back up top to Elisha. Elisha slowing down the pace a little bit. Nice move on Ralston. Drives in, takes it to the glass, and lays it up and in.
And Elisha, again, so disciplined, so intelligent, realizing I'm not shooting great tonight, finding a way to get in and get a bucket.
And Ralston is fouled by Seal as Brooks tried to find him in the paint. And Dylan Qualls and Tyler McKinnon set to check in for the Hickman County Bulldogs. And they will be replacing Elisha Puckett and Kylan Seal. Brooks inbound from the baseline. Goes back up top to Williams. Williams to Dilly. Dilly pulls up from 3. No good. Rebounded by Qualls.
Now, Josh, Elisha being out of this game, I'm interested to see how this offense adjusts.
McDonald tries to get it back outside beyond the perimeter as he dribbles along the baseline, but is unable to do so, and Waverly will take back over. Cooksey gives over to Dilly. Williams pass underneath. Cooksey again. Dribbles out beyond the perimeter. That's Williams. Met by a couple of dogs. Back over Dilly. Pump fakes. Dribbles in. Tries to find Brooks under the basket. Nothing there. It goes out of bounds. Hickman County ball. So we're taking our time here, waiting for the official confirmation, and now Brody Worley crosses the midcourt line. Now Tim Puckett gives to Qualls. Qualls, tough pass to Seal. It's McDonald who puts it up off the glass.
And great job getting the smaller defender and posting him up.
Williams now. The ball loose on the floor, but Ralston able to pick it up. And they'll get McDonald on the foul. And Cam, going back to that last offensive possession for the Bulldogs, we saw McDonald make a couple of big threes earlier, but he showed right there that he can drive in and make some impressive moves to put the ball off the glass as well. I mean, very talented young man.
Yeah, Josh, scorers know how to score, and he found a way to score that bucket. I want to see that mentality from him more, though. We've seen him go for, 18, 19 one time? He can do that on the regular if he just trusts himself and let himself play basketball.
Heaton gives over to Williams. Williams looking for help, gives it to Ralston. Ralston to Cooksey. Cooksey to Williams, the right wing, pump fakes, dribbles in. And finds Burns underneath, and it's an easy 2 for the Tigers. Brown will now take over up top and run the offense. Now under a minute to play in the first half. McKinnon puts it up and just asserts himself over 2 Waverly defenders. Tyler McKinnon, such an impact player when he's on the floor underneath. Burns driving in, mid-range, and Dylan Qualls just places his hand up and on the ball, and Burns, nothing he could have done there. Qualls with too much size forces the jump, and Hickman County will take over.
Now, Josh, Waverly has now gotten into what looks to be a 1-2-2 full court press.
Qualls tries to find Tim Puckett waiting underneath.
Fun fact, Josh, I think that is the most senseless full court press to ever be put together, because a 1-2-2 leaves the middle wide open, which makes no sense to me, Josh, but, you know, nonetheless.
And Brody Worley now with the ball at the left wing, gives over to Qualls. 15 seconds now. Hickman County wanting to take the last shot of the half. Qualls dribbles in, gives out to Brown. Under 10 seconds to play. And it's taken away. Burns, plenty of time. That's Williams, and he lays it up and in. So a big takeaway there by Williams of Waverly. Nets the Tigers a couple of points to end the half on a positive note, but Hickman County still leads by 10, 31-21 your score. 2 more quarters of basketball remain. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back as we hear from Coach Gordon and his hand-selected player of the game.
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern-style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life.
Your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX for our halftime show. And as always, as you're probably accustomed to, we are joined by the head coach of the Lady Dogs, Coach Gavin Gordon. Coach Gordon, congratulations on a big win here tonight against Waverly. Now, the first question that I have for you, last night, of course, a win against Santa Fe, but I think you would agree that maybe not a complete game of basketball was played last night. The second quarter lulls, but tonight, a completely different story. This was probably one of the most complete games we've seen Hickman County play. So what attributed to that?
Yeah, we didn't love the way we played last night. Now, I do want to touch on that and say we scored 61 points, didn't hit a three, and, had a 2-point quarter. But, yeah, we just wanted to come out tonight and put a full game together, and I think we did. We kind of let them hang around a little bit too much the first half for my liking. But we adjusted, came out of halftime, and looked to get out in transition and just followed the game plan.
Now, Coach, that press has been nasty the past couple of nights. Just speak on that.
We're trying to tweak it, work on it a little bit. I think we came out and was a little bit lackadaisical to begin with, but then we tightened up on it. Just trying to get after it and put pressure on the ball handlers. Obviously, have somebody come from the backside and just look to shoot gaps. And it's just it's the easiest offense, right? Working your defense, getting turnovers going, and scoring out of it. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
And, Coach, in a blowout like this, you're going to have the young girls come in and play. We did see quite a bit more of Tinley Davis than we've been seeing. Just speak to the end of the game and their performance and what you saw from them.
Yeah, one, Tinley's solid, right? She doesn't get rattled. She's definitely poised beyond her years right now. Love watching her play. And just the freshmen came in and they executed. You know, there's been a couple games where I've wholesaled like that, and it's turned out pretty ugly at times. But they came in, they worked the ball around. We ran a couple plays to perfection. Aubrey hit that big three right there. They're a really talented group, man. And like I said, as soon as they realize that they're so talented, it's just going to be the sky's the limit for this team.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for joining us here tonight, as always. And Coach Gordon mentioned poised beyond years. I think that applies to his hand-selected player of the game, someone who WNKX is well familiar with at this point. She is joining us for the 17th time this season. I made that number up, but you might get there, Ava. And our player of the game tonight is Ava Floyd. And Ava, the first thing I want to say to you is congratulations on another phenomenal performance. Back-to-back games with 30-plus points. Of course, we haven't seen you score that many all season, so what kind of leads into that, those 30-point games?
I feel like I've just been driving a lot more because, I hit a few threes tonight, but especially yesterday. My shots weren't falling. I just feel like I was getting to the rim a lot better.
Now, Ava, something that I've noticed these past couple of games, and something I kind of noticed in your game quite a bit, is you getting out in transition and being just speak to how that affects your game, and is that something you try to focus on?
It really does affect my game. I feel like it gets the team moving, especially when we're getting quick buckets back to back. Definitely when there's multiple times when Haley gets the steal, and I know she sees me, and she kicks it up, and I just try to score it from there. And
now, Ava, of course, everyone knows you as a scorer, as a great offensive player. But I think what goes a little bit under the radar is your ability to get rebounds, right? Of course, you're not the tallest person on the floor, so someone of your height, how do you come out there and get as many rebounds as you do? What's your game plan for that?
honestly, most of the time they kind of just come to me. I mean, a lot of the times I try to just go and just get it, but sometimes it just comes to me and I just get lucky.
Hey, we appreciate your honesty, but we also appreciate how you play on the floor. Coach Gordon, Ava Floyd, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win, and we wish you the best of luck on Friday as we're back home in J.E. Cisco against Harpeth. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just a few moments for second half basketball. Don't go anywhere. We welcome you back here to WNKX. We hope you enjoyed the interview between Coach Gordon and Ava Floyd. They are always such a pleasure to talk to. Of course, Coach Gordon gives a lot of great insight. Ava Floyd. Cam, Ava's really starting to become one of the best PR-trained people I have ever met.
I mean, you know, at this point, she's getting used to it. 'Cause, I mean, deservedly so. She's been balling out, but quite so. But, you know, if we're going in the rankings, my pick is Will McDonald. Electric interview by that young man when we got him up here. So right now I think the order goes Will McDonald, Ava Floyd, Tim Puckett for the.
Well, I loved Will, but he said a little too much, I think, in his interview. And for those of you that are listening that didn't listen to it, we are being sarcastic. He said maybe 10 words combined, but we love Will anyway.
We do. We truly do love Will. He is a great young man.
But getting back to the matters at hand here, Hickman County currently leads by 10, 31-21 against the Waverly Tigers. And Cam, it's been a balanced attack offensively by these Bulldogs. We've seen Will McDonald make a couple of threes. Elisha Puckett's made a three. But a lot of Elisha's productivity has been driving to the paint and getting some tough twos. Tyler McKinnon's made a couple of shots, and Dylan Qualls has made a couple of shots as well. And you made a great point in the first half when you said Dylan Qualls is playing like a different man tonight. He is playing with some additional energy. He is playing like a man who wants to win this basketball game.
Yeah, and I feel like he was not proud of the effort that he put forth last night. Not necessarily that he didn't try, but he got in foul trouble. And I think that motivated him to, to step up big. But, Dylan tonight has been absolutely locked in on all sides. Very impressed with him so far and hope to see him continue his play.
And what I love about watching Dylan Qualls as well, he is a player who knows exactly who he is. He knows his identity, his role in this team, and he plays like it every single game. He is someone who uses his aggression, he uses his wingspan, his ability to drive, and it works out for him, and it really contributes to this team's victories.
Yeah, Josh, and I fully expect to see a bit more of him in this second half. I know he only has 4 right now, but early in the game, him driving, the aggression that he brought, I think it continues, and I'm excited to see these Bulldogs play.
So Hickman County starts this third quarter with the basketball. Elisha dribbles in, gives over to McDonald, steps back in the left corner, floats it to Puckett, dribbles in mid-range, floats it to McKinnon, knocked out of bounds by Ralston, and Hickman maintains possession.
And Josh, I really like that idea there, trying to get the ball inside to McKinnon, get that easy bucket.
Elisha inbounds to Qualls. Nice bounce pass. McKinnon goes up and over, can't complete the shot. And he was fighting for the rebound. They don't call a jump. They get the foul on number 25, Tyler McKinnon. So these Bulldogs definitely trying to get McKinnon involved early in the second half. Williams up the floor, guarded by Puckett, gives over to Ralston at the right wing. Guarded by McDonald. Tough pass to Rumsey. Goes over Brown and banks it off the glass. So Waverly will strike first in this third quarter. Elisha dribbles in hard on Ralston. Steps back, gives to McKinnon, who loses handle of it. The ball's on the floor. And McKinnon battling Ralston, and it will be a jump ball.
Yeah, and that last possession down here, Braden Brown got stuck in a bad situation. That young man, number 2, he's a big kid, big, tall kid. And Braden Brown only at 5'7", 5'8". It's a tough spot to be in when he's got about 6 inches on you.
So Williams, met by Puckett, up top. He dribbles in left, gives over to Burns. Burns out, 3-point by Dilly, no good. McDonald snags the rebound. Tough pass to Brown. Brown down the floor. Nice pass to Puckett. Elisha drives, kicks it out, Qualls. Elisha in the corner. No good, but Brown secures the rebound. A tough play by Braden. McDonald on the baseline, goes up off the glass, no good, but he's fouled, and McDonald will go to the free throw line.
And that was a great job there by Will, being aggressive, getting inside, and still going up even though you're getting hit on the way up.
And I'm loving the ball movement. And Cam, how about the hustle play by Braden Brown? The ball kicks off the rim, a couple of Tigers there, but he's still the one to come out with it.
And Josh, are you surprised by that? Because I'm definitely not. That young man is always everywhere he can be.
McDonald, free throw number 1, kicks off the back of the rim, no good. Hickman still looking for their first points of the half, and there they are, thanks to a Will McDonald free throw. Williams drives in the paint, tries to dunk it off to Ralston on the other side of the paint, but it's knocked out of bounds by Hickman County. The Tigers will stay in control. Williams, bounce pass to Burns in the right corner, met by Qualls. Kicks it out. Williams loses control, and Elisha knocks it away. And Rumsey gets rid of it, and it finds the hands of Williams. Touches it to Burns, and Burns puts it up and in. A tough play.
Yeah, that's a good job there by Burns. You know, if he had come back down and tried to go back through him, probably would have been stopped. Great job staying up in the air and shooting that thing.
And Dillon gives it to Elisha in the right corner, guarded by Ralston. Elisha, spin move, puts it up and over, and there is that mid-range fadeaway that we are so used to seeing from Elisha Puckett.
Yeah, and that's such a nasty shot he's got in his bag.
And Burns tries to float it over, no good. McKinnon cannot secure the rebound. Rumsey picks it up, tries to put it back up and in. No good, he's fouled, he'll go to the line.
Sub-note, Florida just beat Tennessee by 30. Go Gators.
Rumsey at the free throw line. Number 1 is no good. Kylan Seal checking in for Will McDonald. No, he has traded places with him. It is Tyler McKinnon that has been subbed out. And free throw number 2 for Rumsey is good. He goes 1 for 2. So 34-26 your score. Hickman leads. McDonald pulls up from 3. There's another one for
Josh,
Will McDonald.
You love seeing Will McDonald have the confidence to shoot that shot. I think this started in the third quarter or in the fourth quarter last night when he dropped 9 or 10 in that last quarter.
And that was a tough shot there by Rumsey over the hand of Elisha. Great defense by Elisha to not foul though.
Now, the Bulldogs have switched to their 1-3-1, and twice they've gotten beat inside, but it's because they haven't gotten back and set that defense.
Seal in the paint, a beautiful shot off the glass for his first bucket of the game. Williams gives to Burns in the left corner. Across the way, finds Brooks. Now to Williams, to Burns again. Corner 3, Brown on defense. No good. Rebounded by Rumsey. Rumsey puts it up and in. And Cam, this young man, Corbin Rumsey, has been so dangerous under the basket. He has been a rebound machine and a putback machine.
Well, Josh, you know why that is? It's because nobody's boxing out. It's a little thing that all 5 guys have to buy in on, and not all 5 are buying in on it right now, and we have to do that.
So Elisha now with the ball at the right wing, dribbles on Ralston. Some tough defense being played. Gives the Qualls. And slings it over. Trying to find McDonald. That sails into the Hickman County bench, corralled by Coach DJ Key. Nice hands there, Coach Key. And a timeout is called. And Cam, that was a great defensive possession there by Waverly. It's gotten the crowd riled up. It's got the bench riled up. So Hickman County needs to weather the storm, right? They haven't played their best basketball so far. But of course, plenty of time to make adjustments. I'm expecting them to go back pedal to the metal.
Yeah, Josh, and if you don't, you're going to allow them back in the game with momentum. Basketball is a game of momentum. It is a game of swings. It is one where the other team always has the opportunity to answer, and if they're any good, they will. And I think that Waverly is getting ready to answer, and if you don't go ahead and take care of that now, then it's going to come back to bite you.
So we are winding down here towards the end of this timeout. Once again, we thank you for joining us here on WNKX. We know there has been some visual issues that have been happening here, maybe a little choppy, and we apologize for that. So if there are any gaps that need to be filled, hopefully Cameron and I have been filling them to the best of our ability. So just under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hickman leads by 9, 39-30, Waverly ball. Double team there on Williams. Tough pass, finds Brooks. The whistle blows. And a very quick timeout there, Cam. And usually it's rare that we see 2 timeouts called so close together. So what do you think the reasoning was there for Waverly to take that timeout?
They just looked uncomfortable with where they were in. And Hickman County switched defenses, which was a part of that. I'm sure the coach planned for the 1-3-1, and they came out not in that, and so that caused us a timeout and a opportunity to switch things up. Great job by Coach Dawson getting out of that 1-3-1 because Waverly has only scored on it. So we got to step up, Josh. We got to box it out. It's something little that makes a huge difference. It's something that could lose us the ball game, and so when you're in this ball game, we're only up by 9. We have got to box out.
So we are back underway after the timeout. Williams with the ball up top. Gives over to Burns. Burns at the free throw stripe to Ralston. Ralston back out to Brooks. Brooks to Rumsey, guarded by Seal. And Quall's there to help. Dishes it back out. Tries to find Brooks. And Brooks rips it away. Left-handed shot. No good. Rumsey and Kylan Seal duking it out for the ball. And the referees call for a jump. Hickman County back in possession.
And Josh, Hickman County has switched to a 2-3. And Waverly got the opportunity to get inside because it feels like all 5 guys are not bought in right now.
And a corner 3 for Elisha. Welcome back, Elisha, as he knocks down the 3. And the whistle blows. What was that whistle there, Kim?
I believe Kylan Seal either got his lip busted or a nosebleed, one of the two. It looked more like a nosebleed because he was leaning his head back. So hopefully he's all right.
The price of playing physical. Kylan, he would have it no other way. Williams gives to Burns, the left wing, back to Williams. Passes to Rumsey at the free throw line, dribbles in. Burns, the corner, along the baseline, over McKinnon. No good, well short. But Rumsey right there for an easy putback. And Cam, that harkens back to your point of not boxing out. It's such an easy putback there for Waverly. Brown, McDonald pulls up left wing. No good, off the mark. And it goes off the hand of Ralston. They initially pointed the direction of Hickman County, but they'll change it. Another official comes in and says it goes off on Elisha. So Hickman will not maintain possession, and Waverly now takes over. Under 2.5 minutes to go, Hickman leads by 10. Bounce pass underneath. Rumsey tries to get it back out to Ralston, loses handle, but Williams picks it up. The ball on the floor yet again, and it's a scrap. The ball is loose, and Brown picks it up, and it's a foot race. Brown goes up, and it's denied by Ralston, but the reason he denied it is because he fouled him. And Braden Brown will now go to the line. Another hustle play by number 2.
Yeah, Josh, great job there. If I'm Braden Brown, I love him pushing that in transition. But there are 3 guys that are all larger than I coming at me. I would rather him dribble it back out top and get the offense set up. But, hey, nonetheless, he capitalizes on the first one. And hopefully he'll make the second. I might have just jinxed him.
And Cooksey and Dilly checking in for Williams and Brooks for Waverly. Braden Brown free throw number 2. And it's good. So no jinxes to be found here, Cam. And Dilly now with the ball. Gives the Rumsey at the free throw line, dribbles in, kicks it out, Burns. Nice defense by Elisha, forcing him to be uncomfortable. And Brown rips it away from Rumsey. And it's a loose ball on the floor, and the whistle blows, and a foul is called. And Cam, the guilty party there was number 2, Corbin Rumsey for Waverly. So Brown up the floor. On a tough pass. Knocked out of bounds by Cooksey. And Cam, there was a small window to fit that pass there.
Yeah, Josh, that's one of those where if you will pump fake that pass, have that guy dart in front, and then hit the back cut, that is a layup every time.
Brown finds McDonald. McDonald over to Qualls. Qualls to Puckett in the paint, puts up mid-range, good. And Cam, we cannot talk about Elisha's mid-range game enough. No matter if there's one guy on him, 2, 3, 4, 5, the entire bench, he's still finding that basket.
Yeah, Josh, he's
and Qualls with a big takeaway there, but he is called for the offensive foul. And that's just a tough break there by Qualls. He tried to get some separation there, but too much contact.
Yeah, I have enjoyed this 2-3 zone by Hickman County tonight. It has been a lot more effective than it usually has been, but typically when you're in a 2-3 zone, you're trying to force them to shoot from deep. Waverly hasn't necessarily done that well, so, you know, great move by Coach Dawson tonight to stay in that 2-3 zone and trust it because it's working well.
Less than a minute to go. Qualls and Puckett sub out in favor of Tim Puckett and Brody Worley. A 3-point for Williams, no good. Rebounded by McDonald. So less than 45 seconds now in the third quarter. Gives Worley one to pump fake, doesn't. Goes across the way to Brown. Brown dribbles in, nice spin move. Goes to the basket, no good, too strong. But McKinnon gets the rebound. And it's a fight for the ball. Hickman comes up with it. Worley pulls up from 3, knocks it down. Now, Cam, did they give Worley the 2 right there? Did they say his foot was in front of the line?
Yeah, Josh, I believe his foot was on the line.
So 3 seconds. Pulls up his Cooksey from 3, short, off the rim. So Hickman County will take momentum into the fourth quarter. Your score at the end of 3, Hickman 48, Waverly 32. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Your life,
your way.
So you're in the driver's seat.
Let us help. Contact the energy pros at Meriwether Lewis Electric.
And welcome back to WNKX, your presentation of Hickman County High School basketball. As we are about to begin the fourth quarter, Hickman up 48-32. 8 minutes between them and a much-needed bounce-back victory after their defeat at the hands of the Santa Fe Wildcats last night. And Cam, we've noticed a pretty scarce crowd here tonight. Of course, you want to attribute a lot of that maybe to the weather. It's cold. Of course, a lot of schools are out today due to icy roads. So shout out to all those that didn't make it out today that have been supporting these Bulldogs. And those that have been supporting, watching on the stream as well. So Cam, Hickman County start off the third quarter pretty lackluster, but they picked it up. So let's see how they can close it out here. The ball will go out of bounds. Waiting for the ruling, and they will say Hickman County ball. It goes off the hands of Corbin Rumsey. But the officials will talk it over. And they change their mind.
It's twice, Josh. I'm keeping a tab.
Brooks inbounds to Rumsey, guarded by Tim Puckett. Now finds Ralston. The corner, it's Burns. Gives it back out to Dilly.
Josh, I love this 2-3 zone when Tim Puckett is in. He is so disciplined, and he's always in the right position in this zone. Great job knowing where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there.
And Ralston tries to drive in over the redwood that is Tyler McKinnon. No success to be had, and all he has to do is stick his arms up and knock it out of bounds. Waverly maintains possession. Burns, corner 3, it's good. So Cam, Waverly has not been too hot from 3 points, but of course with plenty of game left, you don't want them to heat up in that department.
Now, Waverly just came out in a 2-1-2 full court press, and Good adjustment there by Hickman County, though.
And McKinnon goes up and over 3 bodies to get the and one. And that will send number 25 to the free throw line. And Cam, that was a great pass by Brody Worley to hit McKinnon towards the leftmost side. And McKinnon, how about that? Getting advantage on his man. Just a great play all around by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like he lost control of the ball, but to have the discipline to regain that and go back up strong, great job there.
And McKinnon completes the three-point play. And they will wave off the shot. No basket due to a violation. But that doesn't take away the 2 points that McKinnon just had to put the Bulldogs at 50. Ralston gives up to Burns. Now to Williams. Dribbles in, tough pass to Burns. Burns corner, Brooks had an open look, does not choose to take it. Now gives to Williams that left wing. Now Rumsey underneath, who's been dangerous all night. Can't put it in, but he is fouled, and that will send number 2 for Waverly to the stripe.
And Josh, this zone right now, they are overplaying the wing and underplaying the corner. What do I mean by that? The rotation on the wing to jump out, which typically in a 2-3 zone, when you're on offense, the way you want to attack it is have somebody up top, have 2 guys on the wing, and have a guy running baseline. It gives you the most capability to get the ability to flatten out the defense. But right now, there's a lack of adjustment running to the baseline as Tyler McKinnon turns the ball over. Waverly heading the other way.
Williams, the jumping snag, tries to take it himself, hands off to Brooks. It's on the floor. They'll dish it out to Ralston at the wing. Now Brooks, corner, pump fake, dribbles in. Tough pass to Williams. Nice bounce pass. Now Hickman able to settle it down a little bit. Now Burns, the left wing. Gives back to Williams up top. Finds Ralston at the free throw line. Tries to get back up to Brooks, tipped away by Tim Puckett. And Brooks is fouled by Tim. Cam, it looked like he almost lost his footing there as opposed to Tim fouling him, but the official saw something there that warranted it. And Worley, Brown, and Tim will be subbing out. Ralston at the free throw line, mid-range shot, no good off the rim. McDonald, big rebound. Up the floor. Kicks it out. Puckett pulls up from the corner. Good. Nothing but net for Elisha Puckett.
And great job there by Elisha putting a good ending on what was a mad dash down the court. Completely out of sync, but hey, it worked out in the end.
Brooks Burns underneath, lays it up and in.
And Josh, that was just a result of beautiful offense. Great job there by Ty Brooks getting inside and making that play happen.
And Qualls gets it to McDonald. McDonald drives, gives it McKinnon, puts it up and in. I love the utilization of Tyler McKinnon so far. His big body makes him a tough opponent. Ralston gives Brooks. Back to Ralston. Brooks, that's Burns from 3. McDonald from 3, no good, well off the mark. So your score, 55-42. Waverly County leads by 13. Burns, another open look, and he makes Hickman County pay for it. So Hickman County wasting no time. Elisha dribbles in hard to the paint, takes it himself, no good.
That's got to be something.
A lot of
That's got to be
contact.
something.
No call as Elisha was taken to the floor. Now Waverly slowing it down, trying to run their offense. Elisha. Oh, and Qualls knocks it away the pass. Tried to find Rumsey, and Qualls is fouled. They will get number 14, Dominic Williams of Waverly, on the foul. Just over 4 minutes left to play. 10 points separate these two teams. Hickman County 55, Waverly 45. And a timeout is called. And Cam, someone that I've been watching this game, not only Malachi Burns, but how do you contend with Corbin Rumsey, number 2, underneath? He has been a problem for these Bulldogs for the majority of this game.
Well, Josh, you know how you do it? He is a 6'4", very thin. I mean, he can't weigh any more than 160, 170 pounds, right? Use your body to get him out of the lane. That's how you do it, Josh. You box out, and then that gets rid of the offensive rebounding issue that we're dealing with right now. It is, you know, just a 2-3 zone should be something where you give up next to no offensive rebounds, and you force them to shoot on the perimeter. Now, Mr. Malachi Burns is heating up. Well, you know how you adjust to that now? You always in your mind know where he is on the floor, right? All it takes is me looking around and spotting him and recognizing and picking up patterns of the offense, picking up his patterns. So it's a thing of locking in and doing the little things. That's how you stop both of them.
So the timeout has concluded. Hickman County already on the floor. Waverly now slowly making their way out of their own huddle. A big 4 minutes here, of course. It only being a 10-point deficit, Cam. Plenty of time for Waverly to storm back if Hickman County does not settle down and play their game.
Yeah, Josh, you said that exactly right. They're not playing their game right now, and they're looking a little out of sync, a little rattled. We need to be more decisive and make plays happen.
So Elisha up top, guarded by Ralston. Pump fakes, give to Qualls. Bounce past McKinnon. Tough pass to the corner. Elisha pump fakes. Dribbles in, step back from the corner. Beautiful move. No good. And it's picked up by Williams of Waverly. And Ralston at the free throw line. Bounce pass goes through the legs of Rumsey, and Hickman will take over. So Cam, as Hickman County takes over right here, although Elisha missed that corner 3, his footwork is something to marvel at.
Yeah, Josh, and that just comes from working at it. But, you know, I think Mr. Rumsey from Waverly might actually be Santa Claus, because he wrapped that up as a Christmas gift for us. It was a couple weeks ago, brother. But thankfully he gave us a little gift there that happened to be a turnover, and now we're heading our way.
Oh, a tough pass to Puckett. Puckett guarded by 3 men. Dribbles. Can't go up, but he finally does. Tries the reverse layup. Doesn't get it. Goes up for the putback, and it's good, and he is fouled.
Josh, that comes from sheer relentlessness. There we go, got it. Not giving up on a play, and that's something Elisha does super well, and that's something that, you know, every member of the Puckett family I've ever met does very well. It just never gives up on anything.
Much like John Cena. So Elisha unable to cap off the 3-point play. Waverly gets the rebound. Williams finds Rumsey. Underneath in the paint, drives in. Reverse layup, no good. Well off the mark, and McKinnon corrals it. Now gives to Qualls. Qualls dribbling up the floor. Tough pass to Blystead on the money. Nice pass to McDonald. And McDonald lays it up and in. Give Chuck Nasty the assist. And Cam, that was some great ball movement there by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. You took the words right out of my mouth. A great job forcing the ball up the floor by passing.
Ralston gives to Williams. Williams dribbles around the wing, gives to Brooks up top. Brooks, Rumsey again in the paint, puts it up, no good. But they will get McKinnon with the foul. And Cam, it seems like Waverly has been running similar offensive plays for all 4 quarters, right? When it's not trying to give to Burns in the corner, it's Rumsey right there on the left side of the paint.
And it's because, and it's not Coach Dawson not adjusting, it's because the guys out on the floor aren't adjusting right now. They have been running 2 guys on the baseline where they have them pop up to post up, and they have them in good spots. Give props to the Waverly coach for having his players prepared for what was at hand. But, again, we have to adjust what they're putting out. But, Josh, a sudden, though, you now have me in my feels, because last night it was announced that John Cena is in his last run in the WWE. So, you know, shout out to the GOAT.
Absolutely, Cam. And Qualls takes over, hands off the Puckett. Guarded by Williams, spins out of it, drives in, looking for help, gives to Qualls on the baseline. Passes, McDonald from 3. The grandson of Bill McDonald buries the 3. What a shot by Will. And that is big at this stage of the game with less than 2 minutes to go.
Hey, shout out Lineage.
Hickman up 62-47. Qualls dribbles in. Bullet pass to Puckett. Dribbles in, step back. Looking for help and dribbles it back out wisely. And now, Cam, I think we're in shoe clock mode. But Elisha wants to dribble in, now dribbles back out. Toying with the Tigers here. Elisha, oh, that was a greedy pass there taken away by Williams. But one has to admire the effort. So under 90 seconds left to play. Oh, and Elisha bats down the 3 attempt by Carson Heaton. He can do it all, folks. He can score, he can play defense. What can't number 12 do?
Yeah, I was about to say, Josh, number 24, Carson Heaton, had not been in the whole game.
And he was someone who was very present the last time these two teams faced off.
Yeah, and he has a knee brace on, so I'm wondering if that's connected to it. But either way, great job there by Elisha.
And a three-pointer there off the mark, and I believe they got Elisha Puckett for a foul off the ball. So, Cam, it looks like almost Waverly. Cam, it almost looks like Waverly is in desperation mode. And Elisha checks out. We see these threes that are being chucked up. And really, I mean, you have to. Of course, at this stage of the game, a minute left. McKinnon is out. Elisha Puckett is out. Taylor Hutchison is now in, as well as number 10, Braden Folks. A couple of talented young men. A corner 3 by Burns. Rattles off. No good. Picked up by Ralston. Fighting to get out of the scrap. And a foul is called. That will send Ralston to the line.
Josh, I have to say this. If you are watching on the live stream, you might see this referee. I'm going to refer to him as the one with the bald spot. He has an exceptional foul call. I mean, it is precise and deliberate, and I love watching him call fouls, Josh. It has been a pure joy in this game.
Well, I want to give a lot of credit to the officiating crew as well. They have been calling things down the middle tonight both ways. And I think what Hickman County has needed to do is not let officiating or calls that don't go their way get in their heads. Just play your game, and that won't matter. And that's what Hickman County has done tonight. As we also see number 21, Dane Gilbert, check in. So now we're at under a minute. Tough pass to Atticus Lane, who's now in as well. Folks picks it up. Folks looking for help, has it ripped away by Burns, picked up by Williams. Passes, Burns, over Qualls and in. So it'll be an and one for Malachi Burns, who has been the biggest offensive producer tonight, as he looks to trim this 12-point deficit down to 11. And he'll do just that. 62-51 your score. Hutchison inbounds to Qualls. Qualls flying through, spin move, loses control. Passes down, Ralston takes it to the bucket, no good. And Atticus Lane was there to pick it up, and it was knocked out of his hands, but the officials will say he touched it last. A tough pass out to Burns, guarded by Hutchison, gives over to Brooks. Brooks dribbles in, tough bounce pass to Ralston. Spin move, no good. And Burns unable to save it, his foot hit the ground. And Hickman County will have possession with less than 30 seconds to go. And Cam, what a big victory this is tonight for Hickman County.
Yeah, Josh, it's good to get a win after last night's performance, get some confidence back in these guys. I know that they're excited as we turn it over and foul Waverly. We send number 14, Dominic Williams, to the free throw line.
That was Hutchison there on the foul. He will shoot a couple with 17.8 seconds remaining. Now, Cam, I want to give a reminder, of course, the schedule reads that we play on Friday against Harpeth, back home, Centerville, Tennessee, J.E. Sisko Memorial. Very excited to be back home in our own gym, but if the weather holds true, we're supposed to get a lot of snow in Hickman County that day, so maybe we won't be with you, but we'll see what the weather has in store for us. Hutchison loses handle of it, but he picks it back up. A nice job of staying with it, but then he will lose it. Burns, Ralston, and Qualls with a block. And he loses control, and they will say a foul. And Cam, how about Dylan Qualls putting an exclamation point on this game? Hasn't been a huge factor in the score column, but defensively, Qualls has been a presence that Waverly has been unable to ignore.
As he usually is. He is, you know, vertically gifted, especially on the defensive end. So he always makes an impact, and a great job right there blocking that shot.
And Brooks knocks down free throw number 1 to make it a 10-score game. And number 2 will fall. So now Waverly finds themselves single digits, but with 4 seconds, it's a moot point as Qualls will sit on it and time will expire. And that brings our contest today to an end. Your Hickman County Bulldogs are victorious over the Waverly Tigers by a final score of 62-53. Now, folks, we will take one last break. And when we come back, Cameron and I will give a rundown of the game and go through some talking points, so don't go anywhere.
Smart appliances, heating and cooling, solar, electric vehicles, mobile apps. Energy impacts your life in many ways.
It's our job to power the technology that brings comfort and value to your busy life.
Let us help. Contact the Energy Pros at
Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Tavern style pizza is our thing.
Why couldn't you be happy with deep dish like all the tourists? That's good. And you just had to make it so crispy and delicious.
It's perfection.
They put the toppings all the way to the edge.
It's cut in the shareable square.
That's delicious.
What's your deal, Pizza Hut?
Your secret's out, Chicago. Try any of our large Chicago tavern-style recipes for just $12 each.
Hey, Pizza Hut, you owe Chicago an apology.
Sorry, Chicago. No one out, pizza's the Hut.
Apology accepted.
And we welcome you back to WNKX, the post-game show that we have here for you. Folks, I want to start off by giving a big thank you to all of you tuning in here tonight. Of course, I read several comments. Of course, I got updates from people. But the quality was a little choppy at times, so we appreciate you hanging with us, and hopefully the audio from us was enough to fill the gaps that you may have missed. And we're working to improve that in the future. Of course, we are still in the early stages of our live stream, so we're always trying to make it better, to make improvements, and your support and your feedback helps make that possible. So once again, we give you a very big thank you. And I want to give a thank you as well to our 2 camera people for tonight. Of course, for the girls game, for the first half of the boys game, we had Miss Audrey Davidson, who was our camerawoman, did a fantastic job considering the little experience she does have doing it. We're very proud and happy that she was able to join us. And of course, for the second half of the boys game, Ruger Toddy filled the gap when Audrey had to leave. So once again, a special thank you to those students that made this possible as well. And a special thank you to Matthew Dotson, who has put together this class that is starting to teach people on how stuff like this works. And he does such a fantastic job, and we are so grateful for him. Another special thank you to my boss and the overseer of WNKX, none other than Mr. Will Nunley. And truly none of this happens without him and his oversight. So thank you, Will, if you're still listening to this. So Cam, welcome back. Of course, a big win here tonight for the Hickman County Bulldogs. And Cam, what did you see tonight that Hickman County did differently that sort of separated them from the Bulldog team that we saw last night?
They started the game ready to win, Josh. Something that they have not necessarily did not necessarily do last night. You know, watching them go through warm-ups, it was a little lackadaisical. Watching them, watching their prep for the game wasn't who they are. They did not show who they were last night. Tonight, they set a tone early that they were going to change up the way that they went about last night, right? They came in motivated to be the best team that they could possibly be, and do I think that they peaked tonight? Certainly not, but did they play well? Absolutely. There is no shame in their performance tonight, and a great job by those young men really buying in tonight and being the best team that they could be.
And Cam, I just love the grittiness of this team, right? Their willingness to always strive to be better. I mean, we saw Elisha Puckett tonight. He started off ice cold, right, from beyond the three-point line, but he finishes with 25-plus points. So Elisha certainly knew what he was capable of, knew how talented he was, and he knew that eventually he would start to find his groove, and that's exactly what he did. He hit a couple of second-half three-pointers, but a lot of his points came from inside the three-point line, right? A lot of twos made by Elisha. We saw a couple of impressive fadeaways that we're used to seeing from him. So a great job by Elisha to adjust and to adapt when things aren't necessarily going the way he probably would have liked them to go to start off.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, we've talked about it a million times on the radio. The mental ability of this team of Elisha Puckett is incredible. There is not many young men that know basketball like he does. The way that he adjusts to what the defense gives him, the way that he operates, not only himself but the team as a whole. He's such a good leader, such an intelligent player, and the thing about scorers is they know how to score. And it wasn't falling tonight, so, he said, all right, we'll scrap it going from deep. We'll go inside. We'll play that way. He knows how to get his shot off, and great job of that young man.
Now, Cam, I want to make a point as well. Of course, it's good that we point out the improvement that Hickman County made tonight as opposed to last night. But let's look back at the last time Hickman County and Waverly played several weeks ago. Hickman County was victorious by 27. They beat Waverly 87-60, and tonight it was within a 10-point game. Now, you could argue that a lot of those points that closed the gap were in garbage time, right, where you had your guys off the bench coming in to collect some minutes, and they definitely closed the gap that way because they left a lot of their starters on the floor. But either way, Cam, the fact they had the opportunity to close it in by that much, I mean, what do you think was different between this matchup and the last time these two teams faced?
Part of it, I think, was the game yesterday. It was a tough game. And that game is one that forever how much you were exhausted physically, you are so much more exhausted mentally. Taking a loss like that against an opponent that you know that you can beat and you are better than, it is a tough thing to come back from. But they showed up tonight, didn't have their best game, but the thing is they kept showing up. They kept going. They didn't let a couple missed shots get in their way, so great job by them tonight on that.
And Cam, remember the last full week we were together before Christmas break was that 3-game stretch, right? Whenever they started off with Marshall County, then played Waverly that Tuesday, and then played Perry County at home that Thursday. And I think what we're seeing this week is sort of what we saw from the Lady Dogs that week several weeks ago. Right, Hickman County, the Lady Dogs, they started off with a tough loss against Marshall County, but then what they do, they bounced back, learned from that game, took care of business against Waverly and Perry County. And Hickman County, tough loss last night against Santa Fe, looking to bounce back tonight, which they did. So step one done, and now step two is on Friday against Harpeth. Right, they can still end this week 2-1, over 500, and still have a solid record going out the rest of the season. And I think if you're the Hickman County Bulldogs, you're taking it game to game right now, right? You can't dwell too much on the past, but you also can't get caught up in what remains in the future as well.
Yeah, Josh, and this Harpeth game coming up is their first district game that they're going to play. So it puts that much more weight on it. I'm really glad that we have some momentum going into it. It's hard to go into district play when you know that those games matter more when you have been struggling. But Harpeth, first district game, I think, and first time being back in our own gym for a while, which also helps. So I'm excited to watch them. I'm excited to see how they come out and play. At this point in the season, no one should be a surprise, right? You should be watching film. You should know the opponent that you're going to face. I'm sure that Harpeth is going to come out with a plan against Elisha, but I'm sure we're going to come out with a good plan against them, so I'm excited to see this game.
And folks, in just a few moments, we are hoped to be joined by the head coach of the Hickman County Bulldogs, Coach Dawson. Of course, Cam, he can be a tough man to find sometimes.
Yeah, Josh, he's an elusive one. He always has been. You know, he's not a very big guy. He's a real thin guy, so he can weave his way in and out without being noticed. You know, but Coach Dawson's such a good man, such a guy I respect so much, not just on the basketball court as a coach, but, you know, he's one of those guys. I played for him for only a couple years, and I know that if I ever need anything, he'd be right there to pick me up.
What's so interesting about Coach Dawson is, Cam, he approaches wins and losses almost the same, right? He will always point out what we could have done better and what we did really well, and that's what you appreciate in a coach, because there's so many times, especially at a younger age, at a lower level, coaches just get caught up in, hey, we won, so that means we played perfect, or we lost, that means we were terrible, right? It's not always so black and white, and that's what I appreciate about Coach Dawson bringing to the floor as a coach.
Yeah, Josh, he's very much a realist. He sees things for what they are, but at the same time, he sees what they could be. And that's what I've always appreciated so much about Coach Dawson, is that, you know, when going into games, when going about things, he's not – he sees it for what it is, but he also sees things for what they could be. And that you cannot speak enough about Coach Dawson and the way – and that goes a long way for the guys.
I agree, Cam. And, I mean, you cannot – I mean, this might sound like the understatement of the century, but you cannot – I mean, you can't ignore the importance of a good coach, right? Not only a good head coach, but also a good coaching staff, right? From what I've heard, of course, these guys love having Tyler Stacks around. Right, of course, just graduated last year, played with these Hickman County Bulldogs, was a fellow teammate to a lot of the guys on the floor. So bringing in that additional piece that can contribute to the chemistry of these Hickman County Bulldogs is so important. And as well, DJ Key starting to get more involved as well, and including Brian Buttry, right? These two guys, athletes in pretty much every sport, right? So these guys bring something special and unique to the table as well as far as coaching goes, and we are certainly blessed to have each one of these men on the staff.
Yeah, Josh, absolutely. You know, good men make great men, and he's shaping them and molding them.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are joined at this time by the head coach of the Hickman County Bulldogs, Coach Dawson. Now, Coach, firstly, I want to say congratulations on the big win here tonight, a big bounce-back win after yesterday. Now, coming into tonight, of course, you're looking to bounce back after a tough loss. What was the mindset coming into tonight?
We just expected better effort. You know, last night was disappointing, but when you take a step back and you honestly assess it, it wasn't all that surprising. We looked like a team that had been off for 9 days. We came out a little slow. Looked like we were in molasses, to be honest, in the first quarter, and they came out red hot. They played twice last week. They're a good team, and they jumped us. We had a lot of other stuff. The officials, you know, had all our key players were on the bench, foul trouble quickly in the game. So it was a frustrating night, but sometimes those are really good for you. And I think it got our attention. I didn't think we played great tonight, but I thought the effort was a little bit better. I thought we had some guys like Braden Brown that really stepped up and brought big-time energy. I thought Dylan, even though he only scored 4 points tonight, he had 5 rebounds, he had 7 assists, he had 6 steals and a couple of block shots. I liked that challenge Tyler McKinnon there in the third quarter, and I liked how he responded at the end. Like if he wants to be big and physical, he's going to be a force, and we're going to be a different team. But you know, we're a work in progress. We know our defense really hasn't been very good. We just talked about we're sitting here 9-6, which is kind of about where we thought we would probably be at this point, but we don't feel like we've come anywhere near playing our best basketball. So we're going to get back to work tomorrow, and you know, we probably got a little break coming with a little snow. But we got to get after it the next few days. Our practices, we need a little better pace and a little more intensity.
Now, Coach, something that I've seen happen quite a bit in these last couple of games, and I only got to go to one game during the Christmas tournament, and y'all did a good job of it there, but limiting offensive rebounds. Tonight there was a bit of a struggle limiting those second chance opportunities. Just speak to your adjustment to that in the future and what you expect out of the team.
I expect us to put a body on somebody and box out, which is what we're not doing. We're standing and trying to jump with people. We're not getting good position. That really hurt us last night. We had a big-time size advantage, but I thought they were the more physical team. Somehow we had a bunch of fouls on us, but I feel like they could they boxed out, but they also undercut us quite a bit, and it was never called. But we've got to be more physical on the glass. I know we had a couple times tonight where we just stood side by side. Another guy out-hustled us for the ball, especially early in the game. I thought they had a little more hustle than we did. But it ain't complicated. It's not rocket science. We got to put a body on somebody and go rebound a basketball.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Sounded like me during the game. The 2-3 zone, though, tonight, I thought it worked pretty well. It was pretty effective. Just speak to that switch up and why you chose that.
Well, some of it is personnel-based, and we like to kind of switch the defenses up. To be honest, we went with the 1-3-1, and it worked. And then they called timeout. We anticipated they were going to make some adjustments on it. So as we switched to the 2-3, it was very effective, so we just stayed with it. Number 5, he played great tonight. He didn't hardly miss. He had 31 points. If we had to play another quarter, we probably would have had to get out of the zone and go back man. But it's something that I think we can, with our size, and we're not really quick-footed, so the zone can kind of help us a little bit. But we like to be multiple defensively. We don't want to give you the same look for 32 minutes. That's kind of a new philosophy of ours. We want to kind of mix things up and give you